Good morning. Welcome in, Zim and Mums, Salty, how you doing, Chief, Joe, Mr. Tuva. What's on today's menu? We're going to be testing out the Hawk, ladies and gentlemen, in Atmosphere. See how it goes. But first, I need to make a cup of tea. Ah, Sati, 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 Sati. It's pretty good in AC, not my cup of tea. Well, we'll see how it goes. I need to buy it. Need to go and buy it, guys. I'm uploading more VODs to the VOD channel, exclamation mark VODS, VODS. Dragon on fire? Oh, sorry, Dragon Fire. Welcome in. So it should have days 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 coming out in a couple of days. I'm trying to get it over as fast as I can, but it does take a wee while. But we are getting that archive up. Satay chicken? No, 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 no. Satay chicken. I could actually go for some satay chicken, to be honest. Would be nice. Would love to see your setup. All. Would love to see your setup. All the larger monitor looks sick. If you do exclamation mark kit, you can see what monitors I use. The top one is actually pretty old. It's like 4 years. That used to be my gaming monitor, but now it's just the stream one. And these two side ones are actually very cheap MSIs. The main expense is obviously the 4K one at the bottom. A lot of people think I have an expensive setup. It's really not, actually. It really isn't. Plus, I'm also blessed to have a few companies that help me out when needed. Verbal, Monster Tech, Toby, Sneak, Sapphire, welcome in. A little bit better. Ooh. But yeah, it's not that expensive. Very simple, actually. Alright. We got a couple of videos here. Or a video, I think. Bump, 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 bump. Exactly, Dragon Farm. A lot of people like to complain about my rig at times. I don't understand why, but they do. Why did you spend that money? Because I don't have a car. So instead of a car and getting gas, I get the bus, borrow a car, and I spend the money on a rig. Yeah, you know, complain. They complain in other people's channels for some reason. They never complain in this channel, but I see them complaining in other people. Yeah, mainly Zayman, exactly him. I'm Savic, I hope I'm saying that right. I came in here and talked health and weight loss almost a year ago and told you I was going to get gastric sleeve surgery done. You asked me to come back and tell you how it went. So far I've been extremely lucky and had no negative effects. Lost 80 kilos and I'm in the best shape of my life. Mother of God. Can we get some vibes in chat, please? Thank you very much for coming back to let me know, dude. That's pretty cool, man. 80 kilos, holy shit. And I'm glad you've had no negative effects. No appetite changes, anything like that. That's fucking sick, dude. Yeah, keep at it, keep at it. That's fucking awesome, man. Yeah. 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. I have a lot more healthier appetite, I would say. I eat to survive. I don't survive to eat anymore. Fucking awesome, dude. That is so cool. Ah, I'm trying to gift you a sub, but it won't fucking let me. Fuck's sake. Why? Why can't I gift on my own channel? Ah! God damn it. Hey X Matrix, welcome in, Chief. Well, let's see if this one works. There we go. I'm Savick. Have 3 months on me, dude.
Captain,
thank you so much for that news, dude.
A class 2 access
Good
pass.
vibes all around. God damn it. Won't even let me fucking gift subs properly. What is the world coming to? I think I found his 80 kilos. Awesome stuff. I think today, graphic. That's sick, man. That's really cool. Alright, guys. Let's get into it. Blinding lights activate. Ugh. Nope. We're missing one. We are missing one. Alright. I'm still, yeah. We got those videos on the go. Wyborg, welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Michael the TheDarkLaw. Welcome to another episode of The Darkness here on Twitch. Sunday, 24th April 22. Starting off the day with good news. I am Savick, losing 80 kilos. Best shape of his life. Gastric sleeve, surgery done. No negative effect. Awesome shit, man. That's really, really fucking cool. Welcome in, Sketch. Everyone, good morning. Hope you're having a good Sunday. And all that jazz. That is really awesome news, actually. Because, again, that stuff can be very, very dodgy at times where people can reject it. And then they go through a lot more pain that they don't need to do and stuff. But I'm so glad it actually worked out for you. And eating a lot more healthier, having a much more healthier appetite. And I like the attitude there. I eat to survive. I don't survive to eat anymore. That's fucking sick, dude. Congratulations on that. Hey, Meister. Back from YouTube? Yeah, we are 24 days on Twitch right now. We have been doing a stream every day for the past 24 days, and we're going all the way to 30 for the whole of April. Exclamation mark 30 if you want to see. This is because we've got a lot of stuff on from CIG, giveaways. We're working with Toby right now. For another 2 days, you can get 15% off Toby. Exclamation mark TOBIII. And yeah. And then we're changing up things a little bit. So basically streaming on Twitch, moving all the VODs to another YouTube channel, exclamation mark VODS. If you want to get involved in that, we are trying to get 100 subscribers so we can get a URL created. And then we've got another channel in the works right now, and then another channel on YouTube is in the works. So we've got 2 more channels. One is going to be for the shorts, another one is going to be for outdoors stuff. Yesterday, Senelaya kindly gifted one of the first pieces of the puzzle for the outdoors channel that we're going to be doing. And then obviously we will have to one day try and figure out how to afford a drone to be able to do it. And maybe another GoPro as well. So we're going to have like GoPro for the dog, but I also want to get one of these GoPros that can stream, connect to Twitch basically and stuff. Had no idea, hope it's going well. Any particular reason? Guessing from what you just said, your awesome partners require Twitch. Yeah. Well, there's one major thing, Stewie. Basically, when I was on YouTube, having a lot of fun, obviously numbers are going to take a hit, community is going to take a hit, all that stuff, but I was in a comfortable situation. But the UK's prices went up by 50% in April for electrics, and my YouTube gig just wouldn't cover it. So I was looking for part-time work. That just wasn't happening. There's so much full-time work around here, but I was kind of like, I really enjoy being a live content creator. I just didn't want to give it up just yet. So the choices were find a part-time job, stay on YouTube, bonus. Come to Twitch, find a part-time job, bonus. Or do Twitch and YouTube and start really massively pushing out a network, or stop being a live streamer and just swap full-time job basically. So I was like, you know what? I got some clarification with Twitch about why I got banned last year, and it was because I was swearing at an NPC and people just maliciously report bomb me. That's unfortunately the auto bombing system of Twitch is amazing. So I got my strike removed from the channel, which is good. But obviously 6 months of kind of reflect on that and all that jazz. So I looked at it, I would swallow my pride, come back to Twitch and work on networking in Twitch, YouTube and all these things, you know, and just keep doing it that way. But obviously, like, if everything doesn't work out, then there are many jobs that I can go to in the neighborhood. There's all the farms in the area are looking for people that can drive tractors and all that jazz. So if it doesn't work out, I do have the ability to just quickly switch, which is a good thing. I didn't realize you were streaming on YouTube for a long hiatus. No, yeah, we were on. We got partner on YouTube sketch. The community did wonders. We got partner. You have the ability to drop members. We're going to be changing out things. I'm going to be removing all the VODs and the shorts on that channel and moving on to different channels. But yeah, I'm kind of at the situation now where I don't just want to be a Twitch streamer. I want to do YouTube. I want to do Instagram. I want to be more. But obviously the starting ground is, you know, get numbers back up on Twitch, get numbers on YouTube, get numbers on the other channels we're working on, and just literally start fucking skyrocketing up, working with other content creators and doing stuff like that. And a lot of people think I'm just here for 30 days and then going back to YouTube. No, I'm not. The reason why I'm doing 30 streams in April was to prove to people that I'm not just coming to grab your money and run back to YouTube. It was literally, I'm going to give you 30 days of hard work to, you know, earn your trust again kind of thing. Like, I'm not just going to take your subs and run. So I am extremely tired, but I'm very pumped to keep going. Twitch is an important tool because unfortunately Toby, who is one of my partners, I can't do it on YouTube, Xmatrix. They only have extensions that allow me to showcase the Toby. So like Stewie said, because of partners as well, this is where the second part comes into it. I can't get gigs on YouTube like I can on Twitch. So to support the people who support me, I, you know, again have to be more adult about it and be like, yeah, you know what, we are going to just do everything and not just be, oh, I'm just a Twitch streamer or I'm just a YouTube streamer. Just, I'm an every content creator basically. Thank you, dude, I appreciate that. Exactly, it's one, well, this is the way I look at it when people are like, haven't you just wasted your time on YouTube? No, I got partner on YouTube, so I get revenue from it faster than I would if I made videos. I've learned how to edit, which is something I didn't know how to do. Starting to learn a bit of After Effects and jazz like that. Networking, where I'm looking for people to create music for myself, where when I do my videos, they're kind of like, all the music stuff comes back to me, so I have way more understanding of what I need to do if I want to survive as a content creator full time in this kind of market, and not just do the kind of gimmicky stuff where it's like, guys, I need this amount of money each month, subathons and stuff. It works for other channels, but I don't want to be somebody that keeps, like, for 3 years I've been living from pay to pay, and with a lot of advice from a lot of people who are like over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and they're generating ad revenue that literally pays all their bills and everything else is a bonus. That's where I want to be. I want to be where when I stream live, it's not a pressure, it's a joy to be like, it's always a joy anyway, but you know what I mean? Like, money has an effect on everyone, and my expenses are a lot less than other people. I own my own house, I sold a big house, my office, everything like that. But obviously bills still need to be paid. And yeah, just obviously Twitch does offer a much better way of doing things. Also, I know a lot of people complain about the ads on the channel, but no joke, the ads on Twitch really pay now a really nice amount of money. So that's changed in 6 months. And then YouTube, if they bring out their new streaming platform that they're developing just now, that's in beta, who knows? I might be like 2 or 3 days streaming on Twitch, 2 or 3 days streaming on YouTube. I might have live shows on Instagram and all that jazz. Who knows? But I want to make sure that I've got my fingers in all the pies, instead of just being, oh, I'm just on Twitch kind of deal. And stuff like that. I think a lot of other content creators have decided that as well. Especially like Redlayer, who we're just about to watch his video. He has kind of moved away from live streams because he's just had a wee baby girl. And he's working on YouTube. He's got a partner on YouTube as well, and he's, you know, doing that kind of stuff. So it's never wasted time. You learn things. If anything I've learned of the nearly 10 years of making YouTube content is that quality beats quantity. Yeah, I think, again, like, to name drop a few people, people that I inspire to try and get the videos to be like is like Captain Burks, Detox, Morphologists. The way they do their videos is more, in my opinion, of like an artistic style, where instead of it's just like, you know, you've got Noobifier straight to the point, you've got Board Gamer that stretches it out, and you've got other people doing other things. I really like the way those three guys do their videos in a kind of artistic way. And I want to do something similar like them. And yeah, again, it's like, you know, knowing people, how they're doing things, watching how they do things, how they up their game, and be like, you know what? If I take a couple of days less streaming a week and I actually work on other things, still working on making content, but it kind of spreads it out a bit, because for the first 3 years of being a streamer, I definitely think it was just like, all right, I'm just going to do Twitch, and that was it. And I really wished in the first year I started to go this way, push forward like this, and I think it would have been a much better thing. But you got to learn these things and stuff like that. But it's a great journey. Like, I mean, this year we mark 4 years, and again, I've definitely changed my opinion on a lot of things in the past 6 months than I did on Twitch. YouTube kind of allowed me to see things a little bit more clearly, especially when talking about Star Citizen. I took 60 days off. 60 days off playing Star Citizen, and it has massively cleared my head from the game. Self-promote, but I spend far too much time editing, and I wish I could make things in the style like Detox, and otherwise, just not my jam. I have my own thing, and I'm sure you do too. Yeah, well, we have something coming up that I want to get involved with, which is, I mean, we had a video out called, it was like the pilot for Logan Fight, and, yeah, I have that kind of wanting to go into it, because again, in 3.17, I want to start it off like where get Detox, Captain Burks, yourself, Stewie, involved in it. A little bit of aerial combat kind of jazz, and it's a different kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, definitely, I don't just want to be a static content creator as I have been, where I've just done the one thing. And Tough Mudder was saying to me last night, it's like, are you sure you're doing a lot extra stuff? And I'm like, yeah. If I want to get to where I want to be, I've got to do the extra thing. And we're drinking Senilaya. Senilaya sent me 2 bags of my favorite Japanese milk tea. It's instant, and it's so good. It's so good. Anyway, guys, appreciate the good vibes, and as well, again, I'm going to mention I am Savik, who came in a year ago with health and weight problems. Was going to go with a gastric sleeve, and I said, come back in a year and tell me how it goes. They come back in a year, no negative effects, lost 80 kilos of weight, and are saying they're in the best shape of their life. So instantly we have some of the best vibes on the channel today, guys, without even doing anything. I love hearing about people changing their lives, losing the weight, or even just making the first day and getting it done, you know, prepping for it, pushing ahead, doing these sort of things. Again, the moment that you make that little leap, that's when you start snowballing in your life, guys. But you just gotta make that leap. That's a lot of weight, yeah, people. Morgoth, welcome in. Anyway, guys, good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. We have Red Lear's video to watch. Oh, actually, there we go. That probably makes it easier for you guys to see. Let me get the volume. All right. This is...
Hello, everyone.
Hello! This is Red Lear's video. I've been loving the way Red Lear has changed from his sort of small-scale videos to his high... This is what, like, Stu was talking about. Red Lear has gone from the little videos he was doing, and he's putting in a lot more work, a lot more effort. He does so much stuff with the chapters and stuff, and it's an absolute joy to show this off on the channel with what he's doing. So yeah, let's sit back, enjoy his thoughts on Free 17.
Star Citizen 3.17 is upon us, and while this hasn't been the largest patch to date, there actually have been quite a bit more changes in 3.17 than we first expected. Here's a breakdown of some of the more notable changes and quality of life improvements. If you're enjoying this Star Citizen content, please consider subscribing to the channel to help us grow the community, and let us know in the comments below what your favorite 3.17 changes are. By popular demand, the Verse is finally getting a high-end coffee bar, and more importantly, the next iteration of updated AI in the form of a barista. This feature is not the most exciting at first glance and has many citizens genuinely confused, but this is actually
I'll drop the links in a bit, Pyro,
of making the game look and feel like a living, breathing universe. The 3.17 patch also introduces Star Citizen's very first river located on microtech. This single asset is our first view of the emerging river placement technology.
I wish it had been a little bit bigger and had come from the mountains.
It's another big step in expanding the details of planetary biomes and the eventual location-specific flora and fauna to go with it. While we can't go trolling for rare fish off the back of a hoverbike quite yet, something tells me we'll be seeing an Astro Esports fishing competition sometime in our future. Another big feature that finally came to fruition in 3.17
this is a cool feature, man.
Ship-to-ship refueling. Currently only supported by the Starfare and Starfare Gemini.
And you can only do it in space, sadly.
Tankers at major stations and service.
You called it a stream as well? Yeah, it feels literally like a stream burn kind of thing.
Own fuel just yet. This is a very important first step for player self-sufficiency and a critical feature that will be required when the
little pond at the end
comes online. I've created a full
I hope CIG changed this where you can do it in atmosphere,
at the end of this video.
and you can maybe do it whilst on the move as well. I don't know how they'll do that though.
Request landing and take off via single button click again. The community has been asking CIG to re-add this feature for years, and our prayers have finally been answered. Although not
now we need the landing system brought back in.
To call the local ATC to request takeoff and landing without the need to go into your Mobiglass friends list. A huge quality of life change, and I can already hear the mass delete of voice attack macros across the verse. Thank you, CIG, for adding this. The ability to loot and sell items from players.
Yeah, but people just add the button to the voice tag now.
And will breathe some new life into FPS combat and exploration. Looting and item rarity is the backbone of any great.
This is a really, really cool feature that I'm very, very excited on. We did some Black Ops stuff last night, And I'm looking forward to seeing like Detox and other groups doing the videos on this stuff. The main issue that we have right now is there's this really nasty bug where when you move items around, when you draw your weapon, it just snaps back. And if you're trying to move items around on you, it grays you out, which locks your character, and you can't do anything after this. This is a major blocker for 317 because, no joke, on the channel for live, you're going to be seeing me doing this a lot with the guys because this is a lot of fun. And I'm not talking about doing the missions. What we're doing is the Black Op version, which is take the comrade down, go down, kill every NPC in the facility, get the weapons, put them in the boxes, take them away. It's a huge amount of fun, and for me, who spends a lot of time in the air, piloting, low flying, I actually have finally something else now to get involved in Star Citizen. Plus the logistics is really, really cool. So we only have like 2 more bugs to get rid of, which we should get done this week.
Game changer that a lot of hesitant would-be backers have been waiting for from Star Citizen. CIG has also moved a lot of the armor and weapon items from existing vendors to crates and NPCs loot tables, so getting some things won't be as
apparently
easy as
railguns or anonymous are not in the table. That's why they're not spawning.
Some items will be location
Captain
and
Burks
region
was
specific, with shop
Captain Burks was saying he's never found an FS9. Myself and Gregory yesterday, we were taking out the security guys at Daymar, and a lot of them had FS9s, so if you guys are looking for that
vendors purchasing items that
317, that's the place to go.
Subscriber flare is also being added to the loot tables, so here's your chance to get out there and find some goodies.
Yeah.
Also new to 3.17 is the split of shared inventory between major planetary cities and their corresponding orbital stations.
Yeah.
Players
This was a good
transfer
change.
items manually now if they want to move items across the verse from the original starting.
I
or
hated
item
that
purchase
people could just
location. To help facilitate
go to Port Olisar and they
a
had
major
access to
overhaul has been
everything.
made to ship personal inventory storage by both increasing their sizes and allowing components to be stored and transported inside ships. Landing zones have also had their storage increased, and components will now have inventory size values and dimensions when listed for purchase. Hurston finally has.
There is a sneaky way of doing it, Stewie. Turn up with a ship that can carry a bike. Have one person travel in to the area on the bike, because they're pretty fast in space, and shut down the comm-ray. Once the comm-ray goes down, take that person to Grim Hex, for example, and then clear the crime stat, and then you can go to any of the locations where the comm's down, knowing that you have no crime stat on you to begin with. That's how we're doing it just now. It's not the best way, but also, as I was saying a couple of weeks ago, I would actually like to see CIG incorporate a network of comms. So you have the orbital comm-ray that connects other comm-rays to other comm-rays deep space. That then creates a blanket. You don't get crime stat from taking down comm. Yes, you do. You get crime 1. You do. Because you're invading the area, jaywalker. You do get crime 1 for going in. You get a crime stat. It can be just literally paid off, but you do get crime 1 for trying to infiltrate and do comrades. You have to have the mission to take them down, you know? So, yeah, you get trespassing, exactly. Then what I would love to see is like them placing a big outpost. So we've seen the model, if you've ever seen Theaters of War, they actually have this asset that they could place down on moons and planets that has a big satellite. And what I would love for this idea is the satellite on the ground to transmit to the main comm-ray. And then I would love it where outposts have a satellite that you could shoot or disable or hack, for example, and bring down the array on that area. Which means that small groups can knock out an outpost, for example, and take that one outpost comm-ray down. Then if you have a slightly bigger group, you could go to the comm-ray on the main HQ comm-ray of the system and knock it out, and that would knock down a bigger area, or the ability to transmit to the main one that's orbiting, because the main one wouldn't do the network, basically. It would only transmit from system to system, basically. So then if you had an even bigger group, and they make it where these comrades are a lot more difficult to take down by yourself, more hacking required, maybe 2 codes at the same time or something like that, that then takes down the ability to the information to transfer away off the celestial object. This would be so sick for future gameplay, because I find it just quite easy to knock down a planet, basically, or a moon, by just taking out this one comrade. By the way, is there still a counter mission you can pick to get not get crime stack when shut down? Yeah, you can, but it doesn't work as it used to, where it makes you immune to everything and stuff like that. So 317 has changed slightly.
Its own level 1 medical facility located
but it'd
in
be
the
so cool,
business district of
so
Louisville.
cool to have the ability to do small-scale network shutdown.
Players a permanent place to take.
If anyone's ever played PlanetSide, back-hacking was what we called it. If anyone remembers back-hacking, that's what I'm thinking.
And while Hurston is on the mind, I
knock down the outpost on the ground
new clouds that have been
and do it that way.
Already foggy experience.
It'd be so sick.
With 3.17 comes 2 new ships, with 1 delayed until a dot patch. The long-awaited Mist Hull series arrives in the form of the Halle, an absolute powerhouse of a starter cargo hauling ship that is sure to please anyone who has been waiting on
video in red layer.
CIG and the ship pipeline team really hit
video.
this one out of the park. We did a full review of the Halle recently, and for those interested in checking that out, I'll put a card up at the end of this video. Second is the RSI,
you should put a thing above here,
which fits somewhere between the Super Hornet, Hurricane, and Vanguard. A much-anticipated multi-crew fighter craft with its remote turret and X-style wings. This ship
I don't know how well it's going to be
popular when it hits the scene later this patch. I know a lot of people
is really cool to look
how
at.
effective the turret performance is given some of the recent changes to other ships.
Now, CIG did say they were going to design it where it could fly like this without the landing gears. Please, CIG, don't let me down. Don't let me down, please. Like, I will have a gasm fit if I can come through the atmosphere like this and then pop the wings coming in and obviously pretend we're soaring. But I've been waiting for that scene. You know in Aliens when they do the drop? Probably one of the coolest dropship sort of scenarios where they come down through space, through the atmosphere, and as it comes in, it fucking unfolds. I need this in Star Citizen as a dropship, and I really wish like they had made the Prowler, for example, its wings like fold right back in on the body or something, and then it pops out as you come in. It'd be so cool. So I really hope they did say they wanted to get it where it can fly like this without the landing gears, and then basically it would transform. So if you see here in reverse,
some of the recent
it would go into that mode
view for you when it arrives
without putting the landing gears down. But we'll see.
CIG has updated the character screen to add more detail and options to the player.
They don't allow you to have a bold character, though, CIG.
Of previous assets to create new.
They have the ability for you to be bald or shaved head, but I really hate the idea that you actually can't remove the hair, you know? Which is really annoying since you can see it clearly here.
Updating the shading and textures to 2022 standards. New eyebrows have also been added, and eyes have been updated and refined, which now makes them look more believable as light transitions across them. For all of you mining lovers out there, CIG has
also, this is C4, if anybody doesn't know. Well, it's not really C4, maybe Semtex you could class it as. But yeah. This is great for breaching doors, by the way.
It's added some quality of life improvements for you too. New mining gadgets are now available to make mining both more interactive and predictable. These new gadgets can be equipped and then attached to rocks and asteroids and then recovered for reuse once mining is complete. There have also been some great quality of life updates to Star Citizen 3.17, one of the largest being the removal of player-to-player desync from the verse, allowing players to finally see in real time where they are in position to each other. Pilots can...
I know, you can't say griefers on this channel. Salty, you should know that by now. I know some griefers using this at the river. You mean Greasy Khaleesi? Yeah. I'm a big fan of Greasy's
trust where their friends
river
and enemies are in
videos.
3D space around them. This is the first major hurdle and definitely not the last fix we'll see, but after years of suffering with desync, it's nice to see CIG finally catch up on this one. Although not bound by default, a weapon stagger option has been added to ships to allow them to chain weapon fire within a fire group.
Yeah, this is really
mostly
cool,
affects
actually.
slower weapons, but it's another tool for the pilot to use for ship-to-ship combat. Ships with size 2 shields will now notice that they have 2 shield facings instead of one.
This has to get changed.
capacitor-
This is a really bad system, by the way. Really bad.
Minimum cost is
Medium ships are so easier. It's under weapons, Shui, and it only really works for cannons. I found for repeaters, I don't really notice any difference on it. But the pilot can now stagger. You've got the wee monitor beside your countermeasures on your HUD, and it's really cool. Like, this is where people are gonna freak out when the Scorpius comes in, because you know how the Scorpius is the X-Wing? Use bearing it'll be M6As. No, it won't be M6As, it'll be M5As, I think. Or 4s. Yeah, it's one above, isn't it? M4As. Use M4As, use staggered fire, and no joke. Go third person, it will be an X-Wing, for anyone that's a Star Wars fan. I personally am not, but the bearings sound exactly, in third person, they sound exactly like the X-Wing cannons, or whatever they're called in the movie. But it's really cool. Like, I've been flying around Atmosphere where it's like, fucking, it's so sick. It's not that good in PvP, but
only drains when the ship accelerates.
Hopefully CIG fixed the cannons, you know.
So for example, if you're at a full stop and holding the boost button now, you won't use any fuel. Ground vehicle signature emissions have also changed, so they are more difficult to detect at higher ranges. The injury system has been overhauled to increase the likelihood of injuries occurring during repeated combat encounters.
I had to do this yesterday, I think it was, where my chest was crushed.
New ASOP
I had to get it fixed, which was actually a really cool thing. My character couldn't breathe properly.
Actually allow you to walk away without being glued to the screen. The X in the upper right also works now to break contact with the terminal. Racing ships like the M50 and Razor, as well as the P52, have been updated by the vehicle experience
team.
And
I've reported the 72.
Experience.
The 72 is really janky in Atmosphere, but I reported it to CIG. And hopefully we can get it in the next patch to bring it in line with the 52. So
some of these ships have been in a bad state for quite a.
I'm also trying to work with CIG to get them added to Outpost, all the like the Merlins and stuff like that.
Now, so this is a very welcome quality of life fix for the racers. Low flyers around the verse everywhere will cheer when they find out their favorite pastime finally has some old favorites back in action.
Yeah.
Just watch out for that vertigo. CIG has also snuck in some early Gen 12 updates, as confirmed by a post on Spectrum just before the release of 3.17. Brushes and objects scattered on planets
bravo.
Gen 12, which more than doubles the render thread performance for these kind of objects. While they did set the expectation that not everyone would notice any performance, many people are reporting much higher frame rates in 3.17 in general, so that is some positive news. They stated that other fixes are on the way, but didn't quite make it into 3.17, so hopefully we'll see even more gains in 3.18 and eventually make our way to the light at the end of the tunnel of graphical performance.
Good man, popping them down.
Thanks for watching.
Redlear's videos are doing so well right now. Let me drop the link for you guys in chat. Go and support him. Drop the subscriptions, the likes, the comments. It all helps massively. Yeah, go and check him out. His videos have come a huge way in a very short space of time, where these were kind of like, as I would say, his more, this is where I'm going with kind of things. And this was obviously like where he was doing videos, and obviously they're, you know, they gain the views and stuff like that, especially with the joystick gremlin one. But ever since, like, here, from the new player guide onwards, his quality is mint. Absolutely mint. I love the fact he makes chapters. It's just going up and up and up, and his thumbnails are getting better. A little bit of mythologist, I feel, in this one, but still really, really awesome. So please go and support him, guys. I'm going to quickly go and tweet it out as well. Do you like my hiding screen, by the way? I've updated it where it doesn't do it, just distorts the thing. Redler on thing. I'm gonna quickly link this to like, retweet, and we're gonna do a quote. I'm not gonna say quick, actually. I'm gonna say, oh, what is the gum? And then we're gonna give Redlear a smiley face. Actually, no, we're gonna give him a rose today. He gets a rose. There we go. And again, guys, go and drop the love on his tweet. Looks kind of sci-fi, eh? It's pretty cool. Alright, let's load up the game. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty, like, I was like, a way to make it where you can sort of see that I'm doing something, hiding it, but also not. So, right, what we're going to do for today, ladies and gentlemen, is Goliath from Shadow Moses was saying on their Discord that the Hawk is still kind of memey in atmosphere. So I was like, okay, what can we do about it? I know, let's get into PTU. Let's go and buy a Hawk from wherever it is. And let's see exactly what I can recommend, and then give some feedback to CIG and see if we can sort this bad boy out. But first, I need to know where to get a Hawk. Hawk. PTU. It's one of the nice looking ships. You know what the Hawk reminds me of? Remember Godzilla when it got rebooted and it was fighting the what's it called kind of creatures? That's what the Hawk reminds me of. Is it Area 18, is it? Let me just check here. Double check. Alright, Area 18. Oh yeah, because it's actually shown there. Let me do this. Look at that distortion. Godzilla monsters. I'm just gonna do Godzilla monsters. Maybe I can find out exactly. Because this is what I think the Hawk looks like. What was it called? Godzilla. Not the latest one. What was it called? No, it won't be 2000. Where was the other one? Monster list. Let's have a look. Muto, that's it. Thank you. That's it. Yeah. This totally reminds me of the Hawk with the wings. I don't know why. I think it's just the way the feet is. But the flying one literally looks like the Hawk, in my opinion. Just the way of the like the legs that come out and then the kind of wingspan. Like that, basically. Just the shape of it. That's how I see the Star Citizen Hawk. We'll leave this up here for that. So I need to go and buy some Hawk. Caw-caw! Good morning, Blasty. Welcome in. Tough Mudder, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Oh god, I feel sick. What are you talking about? The spin. Woo! Distortion! I need to work on the effect a little bit more, but yeah, I'm gonna have it where the screen gets kind of like sci-fi, like it's been hacked or something like that. So that's the idea, because we had it where it would like just bring up an image to hide the thing, but I quite like the idea that I'm spinning the scene around a bit. We need a little bit of static or something like that going in. But I think it's a really cool way of hiding your screen whilst gaming. You know, say I don't want to let you know what location I'm going to, but kind of give you a hint kind of thing. Stuff. Just get a Tana and turn it into Slave 1. Slave 1? Oh, is that the bounty hunter ship you're talking about from Star Wars, Chewie? Afternoon, Cough. Space Marine, how you doing, guys? How's your weekend? Oh, right, we're just gonna cut that there. Do I have... Yeah, I have a helmet on. So we're heading to Area 18. I will use the Thunder Tank, aka the Inferno. Boba ship. Ah, right. Rainy here. Yeah, it's kind of like dark and miserable here as well. Which is annoying because Sunday for me is laundry day, so everything is clean. And if I go outside after the stream, it's going to get murky. Bloody murky. Let me just check the Inferno actually still has its drive on. Yeah, cool. Right, so we're taking the mighty Thunder Tank, and we will go and buy a Hawk, and then we will teleport Jitsu back here, because it's PTU, and then we will take it down to Daymar, and if I have enough time, I'll take it to Microtech to see what it's like in hard atmosphere. But yeah, there's only like a couple of two free fixes that they need to do for me. One, the glitchy kind of things glitching out visuals. Two, the streaming tech just needs a little bit more tweaking. And three, the grey item bug is a big blocker for myself. That's all that it is. Everything else is pretty cushy right now. But they're definitely gonna have to do something about size 2 shields. It's really bad. You can kill these ships so easy. Like, you can kill Ares easy, Vanguards, Cutlasses, Freelancers, anything that uses size 2 is not even a ship as far as I'm concerned right now. And I'm not even talking about, yeah, this is the glitchy nonsense that we're having to deal with right now. And I'm not even talking about the ballistic guns to doing it. Like, the shield system just doesn't feel like it's working at all. You know what I mean? Like, you can strip the shield in second. I think what they need to do is maybe buff size 2 HP just for just now. And that might balance it out. But, I don't know, man. They've kind of made a lot of ships redundant in 3.17, and we were so close to getting it to where the game is usable with all ships. But we'll see where they go. Definitely, I would love to see by the end of this year them fixing FPS desync when you're on the ground. Because it's something I would love to get into more, whereas like having like people in the org sharing their Discord screens and then bringing it onto the show so you can see like we do it here where I think this is the button. That would be like a Discord camera there basically, and then you could have one at the top so you could see like pilot view, gunner view, all that kind of stuff, one show. Even though Disney has changed its name, oh, they've changed the name of the show. I'm really not like, I will sit and watch a Star Wars, Star Trek, but I'm not a fan of the stuff. I'm more like Battlestar Galactica and like Firefly, kind of space sci-fi. I just don't like shiny shit when it comes to space. I generally feel that space should be like grungy and all that kind of stuff. Titan AE, for example, you know? I love the ships in Titan AE. Yeah. You know that they're making a third reboot of Battlestar Galactica, which is interesting. I guess people wanted it. I think Slave 1 isn't PC, yeah. We actually had this topic, not about Star Wars, but in Star Citizen, you know how they've got the idea that you're going to be able to do slaving. And I was actually saying, I don't think they should advertise this game as you can do slaving and human trading or alien trading or anything like that. They should market it as something differently because, again, as probably Disney changing it to a different name, you know. Welcome to Star Citizen. For 45 bucks, you can slave trade all day long. It kind of doesn't come across very well, to be honest, in today's market. Human popsicle trading? Yeah, that could work, you know. Again, I just feel that somebody will have a go at CIG for saying that you can actually trade humans and enslave them and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I can just already see somebody getting massively triggered about it, you know, going full Karen, and yeah, I think it would be a good idea to avoid something like that. And like, I don't know. I don't know how you could call it. Human transportation or something like that, you know? Capsule trading, cryo trading or something like that, you know what I mean? Hey Vashkan, how you doing, Chief? Obligatory human resources. Yeah, there we go. OHR, that's it. What are you doing today? I'm doing some OHR. Alright. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I know what you're talking about. Hey, Colin. Welcome in. How you doing today? Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. We're just going to go and buy a Hawk. And then we're going to test out an atmosphere. Because a few people have mentioned that it doesn't fly that well. I want to see for myself what... Oh, man, that was sick! Did you see that shit? Wait. We're going back. We're going back in time. Watch that shit. Literally, one meme up here. Like, you're watching round here. Watch this. The moment we come in, watch the station fly past us. That's the first time I've ever seen that shit. That is so cool. You'll see it right now. There it goes. How fucking nuts is that, man? That's insane. That was so silky smooth as well. Opposite side, I think it is. What? Have I got a crime stat? How have I got a crime stat? Did I not remove it from yesterday? Ooh. Shit. Did I not remove it? Bollocks! Bollocks, chat. Alright. We're gonna have to do it this way. Crap. I thought I had done that last night. I guess I had forgotten to do it. Alright. We'll quickly use teleportation jutsu and do it. Slightly hanging, went to friend's house, watched Tyson fight. Oh, nice. Pizza and beer. Oh, I would like some pizza. Things just got more complicated. Time to land in that said station. Oh, never mind. No, I'm just gonna go back to Grimhex and do it. For the length of time that it'll take me, there's no point fighting. However, this could be an issue if it doesn't load. No, it's fine. One more time. Yeah, that's my bad, guys. Sorry. I thought I had it cleaned up. Obviously, I could have snuck in if somebody was there, but I'm not gonna wait around for that random incursion when I can just quickly do this. I definitely think CIG need to make it where Crime 1 allows you to land at locations. What the utter F is going on here? Who is the chonka? Could you have any more gear on you? I can't wait till when you can't fly ships wearing all this stuff. You know what I mean? I can't wait until you can't sit in a ship with all this heavy armor and stuff. It makes no sense to me. What an absolute chunk. Alright, let's pay it off here. Is that Greg? No, that's Greg. After a night out, like, there we go. Right, crime gone. My bad, guys. Should have checked that at the start. Full gear. Again, you know that in the future, you guys are not going to be able to climb into a pilot's chair with medium and heavy armor. I think this is fantastic. I actually think you shouldn't be able to do it in light, but they should actually give like proper pilot armors instead of just using the lights, basically. And you won't be able to get into a gunner seat if you've got a gun or a backpack on your back, which I think that's going to be so sick when we've got that option. It's a big pet peeve of mine where you can just do these things. Right, I don't think I have a VK either. What ship do... I can just swap to something else, I think. Let's have a look here. Is the ion ready to go? I just need that. Okay, the ion's good. I'll just use the ion this time. So I look forward to that. I'm hoping we'll see it after Free 18, because Free 18 brings the physicalized cargo, and I'm hoping that you no longer have the hidden storages kind of deal, and they actually add it in, because it does annoy me that somebody can be fully heavy armored up, 2 fucking weapons, railgun, all that jazz, full backpack ready to loot, and all they do is jump out of their arrow basically and fill it up. It's so cringy and cheesy that that's even allowed, but we do know that eventually they will be changing it where you have to literally strip down to the lightest stuff. You cannot get into a chair if you've got a weapon on your back and a backpack. You just won't be able to sit into it. So I do look forward to when we get that. There's a wish list post on Spectrum where the guy wants simulation stuff, toilet time, filling insurance form. What? Alright, I can understand the simulation and maybe a little bit of toilet time, you know what I'm saying? But the fuck? I ain't filling out insurance forms for a virtual spaceship. Alright, that's a bit too much. I'm always one of these people where if they went the DCS route, I wouldn't care about it. If they went the Tarkov route, I wouldn't care about it. I would enjoy it. But I also look at it from a sensible way of thinking where a lot of people wouldn't like to play Star Citizen in that shape. So whatever they do, I'm content with. If they go full simulator, Tarkov, DCS World, Flight, I'm completely cool with that, you know? My background in gaming is pretty hardcore games. But I don't think it would sell. So I'm happy with what they're kind of doing just now. But yeah, I ain't sitting for an insurance paper being down at an NPC and be like, yeah, somebody crashed into me. I need another ship, yeah. Yeah, but in DCS, Tarkov is not filling... Yeah, but they don't... Well, yeah, fair enough. Tarkov has that insurance system kind of stuff, but... If they go, you should reply to that guy, Graphic, and say, well, if you want that, I want it where you've got to gain a pilot's license to be able to fly a ship then. And most likely with that kind of attitude, you'll fail because you're posting on Spectrum about things like that. Nobody gets to fly in Star Citizen because they make it where you've got realistic flying licenses. Takes six to 2 years to get your course done, you know what I mean? 6 months to 2 years, depending on time. So if you're somebody that works a full day's job and you only got 30 minutes to play every night or an hour, yeah, you're looking at like 5 years till you get your license. Like the all GT games, I don't think I've never played them. All GT games, sorry, I've never played them, I don't think. Maybe I have. But yeah, that's the thing that you should reply to people. When they're like, oh, I want realistic and filling out insurance forms in Star Citizen. Well, I want realistic pilot license. So you never get to fly in this game. Oh, you want to use that P4? Sorry, you got to go through your fucking guns training first. See that coffee shop? See that guy pouring that coffee? That's what your gameplay loop is because that's how unathletic you are. That's what you should just say to these people. Wanting to fill out insurance forms, my goodness, I got better things to do. The good news is that eventually down the line you won't have ships just insta-spawning back in your hangar. You'll actually have to go and buy them from other locations, which will be cool. Again, Star Citizen, oh shit, is so far away from being the realistic game. It's the same with like PvP mentality at times where people are like, oh, my organization could smoke your organization. It's like, pfft, who fucking cares? This is like a developing game, an alpha game. I'm top of the Arena Commander leaderboard. It's like, again, nobody gives a shit. I care more about tying my shoes than an Arena Commander leaderboard, you know. We'll see what status of people are like when all the mechanics are going. Armor, proper weapon balancing, proper fight balancing. Until then, it's just like... The game has to make sense, not have too many overpowered things, try and make it where every player can kind of use their ship. This is why, like, the size 2 shield stuff has to be changed in some way. I've never seen ships go from semi-useful in 3.16 to be literally I would never use in PvP ever again. Because they can just be shat on so hard. And I'm not talking about the talons and stuff like that. Again, like as we were saying earlier on, you take 2 arrows versus a Vanguard, there's nothing the Vanguard can do even with a gunner. It's just a fucking meme right now because of the shields and the HP. It's just, what's the point in these things, you know? I really don't I don't get the 50-50 balancing thing. I think it should have been 100-100 or something like that. Yeah, exactly, Salty. I think because it's the same with the items. I'm really getting off on this kind of like shut the comrade down, go and do the looting, Salty. And you know me, like I love my atmosphere flight. I love the combat in atmosphere, but the game is starting to offer a little bit more for other people to do different things, and I like for me, a lot of people are complaining that I was campaigning to get the talons sorted, and I still think they're still overtuned. And this is the reason I will describe it to people, is that I'm not trying to take away people's fun at the river of them shitting on people that can't do anything. It's the fact that I don't want to see this game where all the big ships can't be used, because as I pointed out to people in CIG, 4 talons in the current spec of it can kill a retaliator in 24 seconds in space and atmosphere. That means that the only free ships you can use above size 1 are an 890, a fucking Carrack, and a retaliator. Maybe a hammerhead if you're lucky. That's the 4 ships. Anything else out of those category, melt in seconds. And I just don't want to see where we're starting to get somewhere with this game, and it's just like nobody uses freelancers, nobody does trading. We got trading and free 18 coming up, where I want to see more food chain gameplay. And these guns just ruin it. And it's not just because it's on the talent, it's mental that CIG even think this weapon would be a good idea to put into the game. They should just take ballistics out the game until they figure out where they want to go with it. Just take them out the game. Because they don't seem to be able to balance them correctly, or they don't have time to balance them, and then they do some silly ideas and then they go, oh, 700 meters a second. No, it doesn't. 700 meters a second, if you apply them to a hammerhead or like a hurricane, that's cool beans, but you can't put a very powerful weapon on a very, very agile ship like the Carthol and the Talon. It just breaks the game, and we've gone through this cycle so many times. And I just want to see, when Free 18 comes out, people being able to do trading without dying in seconds to these crazy shield mechanics and then massively overpowered fucking size 4 guns. And if anyone doesn't think they're overpowered, you're just kidding yourself. It literally ends into where people stop playing the game again because they can't use the ships that they bought because they just get melted by people that just want to shit on everyone. And that's fine if that's your gameplay loop, that you just want to kill everyone you see. I would actually like to start seeing an ecosystem brought into the game, where you have to bring an Ares for a reason. You have to bring a Carrack for a reason. You know what I mean? Not just, alright guys, everyone form up in like 5 talons and we'll kill everyone. Nobody will stand a chance. You know? If you're in like a hard atmosphere or space, if you're in a big ship. I'm not talking about fighter versus fighter, because again, those ships will get memed on, but it's the fact that you can literally disintegrate big ships in seconds. And big ships should be not something that a space dad hides behind, but where CIG also balance out mechanics like being able to stop them from warping, stop them from alt F4ing, stop them from being able to move and stuff like that. We need all this in the gameplay as well. What we don't need is weapons of these kind of caliber that just break what we were getting back, you know. And again, a lot of people will say, oh, I don't want to see Gladius and Arrow meta. I don't want to see it either. But you know how you solve that shit? You don't make it where it's appealing to just jump into another ship that wrecks everything. You know, make it where the bigger ships are more, you know, tasty, where a Buccaneer is tasty, a Hornet is tasty. Instead of developing a new bloody weapon that doesn't work in the state of the game, make it where all the ships can work. Instead of wasting time. This whole weapon, the whole weapon from the Redeemer, didn't need to come into the game at all. Not at all. There was no need. Ballistics were already broken. Why did you have to bring in a new ballistic weapon? And just make even more fucking issues for it. And this is why I think, just pull out all ballistics from the game, shotguns, all that jazz, and just leave it where everyone has repeaters, and then default the game down and then start working on it one by one. Yeah, exactly, Salty. I've said on the channel so many times that, you know what the easiest mechanic is? You make it where the bullets are a little bit more damaged than energy, and make it where, just like energy, you have like 50 rounds and then you've got to wait for it to reload. Solves the fucking problem. And again, people are like, oh, but you can just use the Inferno. Again, that is a major problem. You should not be able to hold the fucking trigger down for 90 plus seconds and look at a fucking clock, pick up a drink and just shoot. It should be where it has magazines or an ammo amount. And that's how you solve all these ballistic problems. You can then give ballistics huge amount of ammo, make it where they're just slightly more damaging than laser, and then balance it around how many shots it can fire before it needs to reload. That's all they had to do, is add in a reload or an overheat mechanic. But they want to balance around ammo amounts. That's just, ugh. It's like trying to balance the game around countermeasure amounts, that every ship has the same amount. It's like, ugh. If I want to take 2 noise and then double my fucking other countermeasures, you should be able to do it. It works in games like DCS and other, where you can literally customize your counter amount. If you prefer to flare off or you prefer to chaff off. It's very, very easy to balance this game, to not bring in metas, but this sort of forces metas, in my opinion. But even if they didn't do that, Salty, we've got laser guns like, you know, fire 50 rounds. Just make it where ballistics, for example, fire 100 rounds and then it takes a few seconds. Like, they've got to put power to capacitor to put power to reload or something like that. You know what I mean? The mechanics are already in place. Just do the same thing that laser guns have, but for bullets. And then make it where, like, you've got 2,000 rounds. The biggest problem with ballistics is not the ammo amount, it's the fact that you can hold the trigger down. If you make them more damaging, and again, if you actually look back to ballistics from the past made more sense than what we have just now. They were just slightly more damaging than laser. And CIG had to make it where ballistics were way more damaging than laser, and then make short ammo things. It's like, again, we just didn't need it. We didn't need this shit. Ballistics worked. Work more on cannons than, you know, like railguns and stuff like that. It's, my opinion is just remove all these things from the game for the time being, until they've got the time to do stuff. Please let us have a game where every ship is sort of on the same page. And if it's 6 months where everyone's just got repeaters, then tough tits. That's it. It's better than having to constantly be at, like, CIG, look, guys, you know, I appreciate you putting more weapons into the game, but you haven't balanced anything beforehand. You're literally making it worse for yourself by constantly adding weapons. If you can't balance what we already have in the game, don't add another weapon. Remove weapons that don't work. Remove some of the cannons that don't work. Don't hope for some stats and stuff like that. Right, we've got that, so it's time to teleport, do this. I hate this cheesy way of doing it, but it's PTU. In live, I don't plan to do any of this. I want to try and role play out live as much as possible, but whilst we're testing, I'm going to use the cheesy teleportation jutsu. In live, I really, really want to try and focus on seeing exactly how much content I can get out of the game by not quick running it. But yeah, ballistics are bad. They really, really are bad. The Talon needs its own weapon, in my opinion. If the rhinos don't work, or they don't want to overpower the rhinos, because then this is the crazy reality of it, okay? My theory is the reason why CIG struggle with size 4 is then you have ships like the Hammerhead that, if people thought the Talon with these ballistics were bad, we tested out a Hammerhead with all the ballistics. and it's disgusting. Every single big ship in the game disappears against that power. And it's great for the idea that a hammerhead should be dealt with fighters, but a hammerhead should not be a fucking I'm going to shit on every single ship in the game if it gets within that range. I just don't think it should be like that. It should be good against anti-fighters, but not, oh look, there's your 890, see it in 30 seconds. Gone in 30 seconds with Nicolas Cage, because that's what it is with a hammerhead. And I just don't think it should be that powerful. So balancing size 4 seems to be a tricky area for CIG, and unfortunately the Talon gets punished on that, but there is an easier way to do it. Give it 4 size 3s, or give it 4 size 2s. You know? There you go. Balanced. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Sorted. Everyone would love the Talon if it was like 4 size 2s. It wouldn't be too powerful. It would have its agility. It would have its damage. It would do its role. It wouldn't shit on everything. It would be a lot of fun. And I just don't understand why you because again, you take away the mounts and you could easily fit 2 size 2s where the mount goes. There's plenty of space. I think Chunky's coming down. We've managed to go to Art Court by the time Chunky got up the lift. Holy shit, man. Talk about all the gear you would ever possibly need. Look how much ammunition. You know, this is the type of player that when they fall down the stairs and die, they get really angry that they lose their gear. You know? You kill somebody in their fighter and they're wearing that, you know that they're pissed off. Because the amount of time and effort to actually equip all that shit. Liz, oh, I know. It's so funny. Again, there's many things that need to be balanced, but for me, I would like to see bigger ships requiring a little bit more, you know what I mean? I generally feel that big ships should never have the pilot being able to fire the guns. I think it should always be gunners. It's the same with the Connie. Now, hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. I personally think the Connie should have it where somebody fires the guns instead of the pilot. That's just me. Same with the 600i. All these things. Because I generally believe that a lot of space dads hide behind the HP of their ship, or the shields of their ship when they do like bounty hunting and stuff like that. So I understand why people want the Talon with the ballistics, all that jazz, to deal with people like that. But then, all they have to do is kind of make it where the people in these ships, like the Retaliator, can't fire, like they can fire their torps, but that is it, you know? This is where I would like to see big ships requiring multi-crew to actually do more. Like, if you want to solo a big ship, you get your shield, you get your tank, but you've got no weapons. You can't use your weapons. No slaving, none of that jazz, you know? And in the future with NPCs, whatever, you know? There's so much that needs to be balanced in Star Citizen, it's ridiculous at times. And this is where, again, the sweaty attitude between PvPers, or some PvPers, where they're like, oh, I could beat you in Arena Commander. I don't give a shit. I do not give a shit. I watched a video last night of people who do a lot of Arena Commander getting fucking clapped by an org I don't even know about, you know? Above Microtech. Got fucking clapped. You know? Not everything just goes out the window in certain scenarios, you know? If you get overwhelmed and all that jazz, like. But the sweaty attitude of people for Star Citizen is nuts, like. Like Salty said, just fucking chill out and have some fun, you know? Have some memes, cool beans. I'm gonna take it off here. I'm gonna do my standard fit. Just to... Okay, that's interesting. It's good for you. You know, do some funs and stuff like that, you know? Quantum Drive, Atlas. Oh yeah, this thing has 2 shields, doesn't it? Oh man, my shields are going walkies. I think we've got the bug again. Or maybe I didn't buy enough. Weapons, let's see what we can do. That's a lot of cannon. I think I'm going to have to go full Star Wars cannon build for this testing. Just for sound, guys, alright? This is probably the shittest build to use on a Hawk. But I want to hear what it sounds like in atmosphere with all the pew 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 staggered fire and stuff. 600i will never win against 2 players in light fighters. Yeah, but what I'm saying is... I don't think it should be able to shoot as a pilot. You know what I mean? Now, if you take... If you look at it this way, if you take a 600i versus 2 arrows and you have a gunner as well, those 2 arrows will struggle. The problem is, with the 600i right now, is it has one of the worst HP pools for a ship of its size. It's paper. The 400i has more HP than a 600i. The 600i has 29k HP. It's like nothing. Shoot the back end of it, it dies in the second. There isn't any ETA on VR support. No, you're not getting VR for a very long time. The game will have to be out before VR is installed. There's 2 ways of developing VR games. One, you build it with VR in mind from the very get-go, and then you have to wait for the game to come out and be finished before you do VR add into it. So you ain't seen it for like 5 to 10 years, just to tell you that, guys. They've not even looked into any of it. It'll be like Elite Dangerous, where the game has to come out before you see anything like that. So do not expect VR for like 5-10 years. Yeah, I know, Mo. I know. It's why I've never played Elite Dangerous in VR, because I'm pretty sure I would rage at anything else. I'd be like, oh, I can't play anymore. It's the same as if I ever played DCS World and I did it in VR. I'd be like, yep, alright, well that's just ruined every game for me completely. Because I do love my VR. What if instead of weapons, think of this the way, top-down turrets? Again, CIG need to start really looking into the future of their bigger ships, because yes, 2 arrows should be able to kill a 600i in time, but then it shouldn't just be where you can do it in like 1 minute, as far as I'm concerned. But I also think that the, say for example, 600i pilot shouldn't be able to just go bounty hunting by itself, you know what I mean? Any large ship should not be where you can solo and do everything from the pilot's chair. That's just my opinion. You shouldn't be able to manage the shields. You shouldn't be able to manage your power. There needs to be a reason for these multi-crew ships, so that eventually down the line you hire NPCs to do the kind of job and all that jazz. That's just, again, my opinion on it. People will complain about what I'm saying. That's fine. But I find it that people hide behind their HP way too much. Okay. Let's have a look. So this will be the first test, right? I'm gonna get my song to play this. Local files. Oh no, that was wrong. Damn it. Yeah, here we go. Let's do this one. Oh, this is not gonna be good enough here. Right, we'll go to New and Waste. Let's see exactly how this thing flies in atmosphere, but I need some sun. Engage stagger fire as well. Ooh, baby. Do I have views for this one as well? Holy shit, I do. Can we get inside the cockpit? Oh, yeah. Oh, I need it to be straight. Ooh, a little bit fast. Oh, that's gonna be sick. Yes! That's the view. Oh, that's so cool, man. Alright. That's how Lake House goes. Hey, Mordors. They're so shit, Mordors. It's not even funny how easy they are to kill right now. I don't know what CIG is doing. I know, like, the Vanguards and stuff needed a nerf, but they didn't need to make them obsolete, like... They're so shit. Right. This'll be it. That sounds fucking sick, man. But yeah, they're so shit. I don't know where CIG or what they're trying to do just now. Alright, let's push this here. The fuck is faster than a Gladius. Why is anyone complaining about this in Atmosphere? What? Why would you complain about this? What, because it doesn't turn like an arrow? You've got fucking 6 guns. This is not a dogfighter, this is a fucking assault ship. Yeah, this feels fine to me. Again, you're talking about something that has this. And I'm memeing without repeaters. Yeah, this feels fine, like. Catch up. Like, the biggest problem, Mordors, right? This is where sometimes I don't understand the balancing choices with CIG. They nerf size 2. Then they bring out a weapon that literally shits on size 2 and then can decimate bigger ships. We've had this argument already this week. But the fact is, it is disgusting how literally a Sentinel has less HP or less time to fly than anything. Defenders get fucking smoked. I just don't understand why they can't do some balancing choices in very small stages. Just leave the shields. Especially when you're bringing out a patch that fixes desync. That's the thing that always confuses me, is that the patch fixes desync. So why not just leave all the weapons as it was in 3.16 and then get some fresh intel on how things go? But it's no, fix desync, nerf size 2, bring a size 4 weapon that is just far too overpowered for the game in its current state. In the future, it'll be a great weapon, but right now, it's disgustingly broken. Then allow it to be mounted on a fucking light fighter platform that can literally break the 700 meter nonsense in Atmosphere. And then you can put it all on a hammerhead, which can disintegrate an 890 in like 20 seconds. It's just like, oh, stop. Just stop. Just do one thing every 3 months. One thing. Fix the C-78s, they've done it. Fix the rockets, they've done it. So that means you can't kill big ships by taking out their coolers and power plants with ease. Don't change shields on the Vanguards. Don't change the turrets, because they've had to revert that as well. If anyone's noticed, they massively nerfed turrets in 3.17 and they've had to revert it back because it's so shit. So you literally took a Vanguard, you fix boosters so that it can't outturn. You take away desync so when people backstrafe in Vanguards, they don't get their special invisible I win button fucking nonsense because they're in another realm using Linux, Ondo style, you know. Then they nerf turrets. Then they nerf shields, and it's like, why don't you just take the fucking ship out of the game? Isn't that much easier than going for all this hassle? So turrets have been reverted, the shields are still shit, they've tried to balance the ammo, because obviously people are like, oh, the ballistics are already nerfed. They're not nerfed because they were never released. They're on a test server. When it goes to live and then it changes, that would be a nerf or a buff. But right now it's in its balancing phase. It's a brand new weapon added to 3.17. It can only be balanced right now. It's not nerfed, it's not buffed, it's just literally tried to make better. And still, the biggest issue is not the ammo amount, it's the ability to continuously fire CIG. It's nothing to do with damage or ammo, it's the fact that you can do this for 90 seconds straight. And the easiest way to balance ballistics right now is give them ammo magazines like this. Make it where you can only fire like 50 rounds and then you've got to wait till it reloads, and then add capacitor mechanics so ballistics actually have to use the triangle. Because most of the time a ballistic user just does this. This is not skillful. This requires no effort. But you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do this with ballistic ships. You only go to energy, throttle, or boost and shield. You don't ever have to go here, and that's where it just memes. Make it where ballistics have slightly more damage than laser, they've got a decent ammo amount, like in the thousands, and just make it where you can't continuously hold the trigger. It's not hard to solve this issue. The biggest issue with ballistics is you can just do this forever until you run out of ammo. And on these ballistics I have, like, especially with the Inferno, and before they changed it, 1950 rounds. What people don't understand about, and why I was trying to get this stuff changed, is that you could hold the trigger for 90 seconds without any damage to your ship. 90 seconds of just going, alright, you're dead, alright, switch target. And that is a crazy thing to be able to do in combat. It breaks the balance of, like, laser guns where you have to be like, right, well, I'm running out of shots here. I need to move myself into another situation. I need to power management to begin with. I'm a little bit low on boost. I'm going to sacrifice regenerating my weapons just now to get a bit of boost and change location. Then charge your weapons up and do it that way. That makes energy weapons really, really good, because there's actually mechanics. But when you have an Inferno that can just hold the trigger down, before somebody says, oh, they made it where there's no fix assist, that doesn't matter to a Hammerhead. A Hammerhead doesn't give a shit that you don't have fix assist. You just go like that. Continuous fire, no problem. You know, and that's again, it shouldn't be where you can just continuously hold these things. And that's how you solve ballistic balancing. And then with cannons, up the damage and up the speed. Simple as that. You don't need to drop them down to 700 meters a second. This does not balance the game at all, in my opinion. You have ships that can fly around at 700 meters a second without even afterburning or doing kind of crazy stuff. And it would be so much more simpler if they did this than doing whatever they've done with size 2 shields, what they've done to turrets which they reverted back. You know what I mean? It would be just much better to focus on that area first. And again, like I've been trying to say to people, I'm not trying to shit on people that want to fly the Talon and shit on people at the river and stuff. If that's your gameplay loop, I disagree with it on a test server, but if you want to do it, that's up to you. My problem is I want to see this game where people are not just flying Arrow, Gladius, and Talon for the next 6 months. I can't stand it anymore. I'm sick and tired. It's like, this is why we're testing out the Hawk. It would be nice to be able to use the Hawk. It would be nice to be able to use the Defender. It would be nice to be able to use the, you know, Hornets and stuff like that. Everything that actually requires love, instead of these free fucking ships that we've had to deal with for the past 2 years. 2 years, there has been no meta change from these ships. We had, exactly, you can't even use the Raven because it's garbage, you know? Or the Saber is really, really good in atmosphere, but the problem is, when it pancakes, it's just dead. It just can't do anything against these things. And this is my biggest problem when you bring out these ballistics for a ship that, like, the Talon can use. First of all, you can spawn a Talon at an outpost, which does break the game massively, because when you've got an injured Talon and you can actually still warp places, you can just go and get a brand new Talon without having to do certain mechanics or repair and stuff like that. Or you use a big ship to get to a location, then you spot it, you know what I mean? There's no planning involved, very cheesy. Then you give it a weapon that's far too buffed for the status of the game, whilst you nerf size 2 shields. And this is where, like, the whole idea of them doing the default balancing was to make it where every ship was viable again. And it's not. It's still Talon, it's still Arrow, it's still Gladius. You take the Gladius into space and it's semi-decent in atmosphere. You take the Arrow into space, it's decent in space, decent in atmosphere. You take the Talon, which is rapid in space, and it's really good in atmosphere at rate fighting. And this has to stop. It's so boring now. And the biggest issue we have is why they changed the bullets was not because of what I was saying to CIG. They nerfed it or brought down the ammo amount because they could already see the stats in PTU where everyone's using the Talon with these guns. That's why it got its bullet changed. And still, there's another easy solution. Take it out the fucking game for the time being. That's it. Just take out the game. And if people go, oh, well, the Talon is useless, tell that to Papa Freedom and all the guys who are in fight or flight using Talons and winning matches. There's no excuse when people moan about the Talon. It can easily work, just don't fly it like an Arrow or Gladius, you know, with those weapons. Play a different style. Just give it where the Talon has more capacitor so it can have more than, what, 20 shots or something like that. That's an easy fix, not adding in weapons that just break everything. And it's the same with Distortion and EMP. They've just pushed it into the ground again because instead of figuring it out, it's like, we don't have time right now, we'll come back to it in 6 months. And it's like, great, well, you've literally taken away that kind of gameplay loop. Just make it and its weapons super duper expensive? No, because then again you change the... You gotta remember, guys, even though we go to live, it's still a test environment, right? They're still tweaking, testing, everything and stuff like that. Yeah, it just needs more capacitor for their size 4 guns and it would fix the Talon instantly. That's the biggest issue with the Talon and the Carthol, is Rhinos on these ships have such low capacitor. Because if you actually move to size 3, you don't gain much more either. Which is crazy to think. You would think you would get more capacitor if you went to size 3, so they're broken. The capacitors on these ships have to be broken, or they need to be upped or something like that. And that fixes it. You don't need to give it a god tier fucking weapon. That again just, and then nerf the shields. It's a constant... What the hell's going on? You know, who is calling the shots here? And again, I just don't think it's that difficult to sort out things for the next, like, patches and stuff like that. It's just literally a few numbers game. But again, this is the biggest issue with CIG. They go on their stats that they see. So it's like, oh, 10 Talons are doing this, 100 Talons are doing this. This is what they look on. They don't look on, like, from people that have experience in the game, who play it all the time and be like, look, this weapon's a little bit janky, it just needs a little bit more shots. No, our stats say it's fine. No, it's not. Because most likely you're getting stats from killing fucking NPCs or something like that, you know what I mean? Nobody can say that the size 4 weapons on a Talon is in a good state. It leads to serious problems, it does, yeah. If the Talon will have the capacitor, why not the Hornet? It has like 20 shots. Yeah, the Hornet, again, Veshkan, the Hornet needs to be made better. It's an absolute piece of shit. Like, you know how they balance the Hornet just now? Buff its HP and literally make it where its capacitor is of decent size, where it has more shots. There you go. Leave it unathletic in flight, but balance its HP so it doesn't get rinsed, and put up the thing. A bit of both, Jay. You can tweak them for each ship. And you can also change the capacitor use on the weapons as well. So for me, I don't want to see it where they buff it for like hammerheads by changing the rhinos out. They just need to make it where like the Talon and the Carthol Hull has more capacitor. That's it. Again, Mordors, I just don't... This is why I always say to people, there is no point chest beating about PvP right now, because none of it makes sense. Like, it's cool to watch, I get it, but it's just like, every ship is so broken right now. And I just don't think it needs to be broken. Hornet needs more HP. The Saber could use some more HP. The Raven could use more HP. You know, they're not as agile as Arrows and Gladius, and without desync, a little bit extra HP goes a long way. But I still maintain, just get rid of shields in this fucking game. Like, shields are just the most useless thing. Just make it where ships have HP and that's it. Fuck armor, fuck shields, just make it where it's HP. That's it. We'll play World of Tanks. Who knows, Graphic? I don't know how far involved the mechanics go that deep, you know what I mean? Well, again, like, they needed it. But then they also buffed the Starfarer HP and it still dies in seconds. Like, these ships should not be able to be shat on. And again, like, if you don't have gunners, you shouldn't be able to, like, basically defend yourself in these big ships, you know? A Mantis or some ship to slow you down, EMP, whatever, you know? You know what they could do with EMP, right? And hear me out on this. EMP could be 3 times the charge rate, 3 times the cooldown, but when you EMP, it slows people's speed down to SEM. I think that would be a fantastic mechanic, because it means that you could bring an EMP ship into a fight and a Mantis and start to disable people where they have to slow down. And then make it where when you actually shoot off somebody's engines, you know how you can target people's engines? Make it when you've damaged the ones like that, the ship comes to a halt. Or falls out the sky, or something like that. I don't think it would be that difficult to implement, personally. Kind of like, if you've seen that Fast and the Furious movie, where they fire the harpoons into the car and it starts to slow it down. Just have that, you know? If somebody can't fly at speed and they have to go at SAM speed, it would be amazing. It would work on planets only then? What do you mean? That they would fall out the sky? Yeah, well, I mean, you could make it where they just don't fall out the sky, because you just stop them from having the ability to move forward. Or backwards, you know? Yeah, I mean, look at it this way, right? Everyone complains about the Retaliator's HP. I think the Retaliator's HP is spot on, personally. And I think the 600i should be buffed up. Caterpillar should be buffed up to these HP pools. You should not be able to kill these ships at ease with a single or 2 fighters, in my opinion. These ships have to have a reason. You should not be able to shit on a fucking freelancer, you know, as fast as people do. It has to get to the point where you, if you're flying in an Arrow or a Gladius, then you have to go up against fighters. If you see somebody in a Constellation, they are I walk away from that fight because I'm by myself. Because they can't kill it with their single Buccaneer or something like that, Veshkan. You get a lot of people complaining about the Retaliator, and personally I think that should be the standard for all large ships. You know? And it's not even a large ship, you know what I mean? That's the crazy thing with it. It's a medium-sized ship. It's like Connie size, you know? Why would ship... Again, Lesbo, like, this is the biggest issue that we have. This is a video game. I know that if somebody goes to speed and they stop thrustering in space, they keep going, but this is a video game. Which means that if NPCs are to be stopped or players are to be stopped, there has to be a mechanic and a reason why. So unfortunately, in space, you come to a fucking halt. Because this is a video game, not real life. Because if it was real life, there is no balance. There is who can shit on who. And that's all that people care about. The Tally is an underrated gunship. Free, dual free turrets and two double turrets, basically. It's really, really good. The Terrapin has ridiculous HP. Again, they do these kind of things where it feels like they're testing it out, and then they just forget about it, you know? Alright, let's test out to see how tanky we can make the Terrapin. Oh cool, this works. Alright, let's forget about it for the time being. Okay. Chris Roberts. Shaders. Again, I don't think this has an issue, this ship. I think this thing's pretty good. I don't think it should be able to outturn Gladius and Arrows if that's what people are going on. This thing has 2 shields, it's a very small profile. It has the 6 guns, which is nuts, and it has the MP. That's gonna clap. That is a lot of fucking shots. On cannons. This is stagger fire, by the way, Stewie, if you want to see. Here, and I'll put the sound up a bit for everyone. This is normal mode. With cannons, this is staggered fire for the pilot. Pretty cool, actually. So the button you can see here, down there, sorry. Oh, it's lagging like shit. That tells you if it's in stagger fire or not, and the button, oh my god, windows are going fucking nuts. Key binding, it will be under vehicle weapons. Staggered combine there. That helps it change. You have to set your own keybind. And stuff. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show people. Doesn't this look like... Right, let me do it in landing mode, right? Right? Remember this. Let me just see if I can bring this up here. I'll get rid of that. I'll minimize this. That's what I see. Sorry, I'll put it on the opposite side. That's what I see with the Hawk, by the way. The fucking thing from Godzilla. That's why I love the look of this ship so much. The problem is, Lebo, if you don't have these mechanics, and I know it's fine to not agree, but then you literally break the game because you can't stop people from just flying away. You know what I mean? Because stopping enemies, we need to wait for an SRV. That, you do know that's not how the ship is meant to work, right? It's not meant to stop people from running away. It's meant to tow ships, not stop them from running away. That's not the design of it. So we don't need to wait for an SRV. Because what you're talking about is not the intention of that ship in the first place. It won't work that way. They've already confirmed it won't work that way. So, again, this is a video game. You're not going to find something in the future that stops people. You need to make it where when you disable somebody's engines, they stop in space. They come to a halt because it's a video game, not real life. Your head's to the top. I think it's really good. I don't personally see what the complaint about is for atmosphere. I personally think it's fine for what you actually get out of this thing. I don't think you should be rate fighting versus an arrow, basically, you know? Where's it? Keybind's doing something. Why do I keep alt-tabbing out of the game when I press escape? Not sure what that was about. But yeah, I think this thing flies perfectly fine. It's faster than a Gladius in the straight line. You know? With Afterburner, we can push like that, which, again, it's not Arrow or Gladius level, but if you're up against a bigger ship, and then you're able to just go and release the fucking clappening. Yeah, I don't think this ship requires any work for atmosphere. This thing is faster at pushing away than a Gladius is. 2 shields, smaller profile, outruns a Gladius in the straight line on a harder atmosphere. Let's take it to space to see exactly what its full speed is. It's got a decent capacitor tank. Yeah, I don't think this needs any work. It would change the flight model principle too much. You do know that when you do certain things, like crew, if you, right, I'll show you here, right? We're decoupled, right? So we're now, moment, let me get into space. I'll show you that what you're talking about right now, Lebelsart, doesn't make any sense because we don't have it in the flight model anyway, dude. I don't know what the EMP is like, Veshkan. I don't really care just now on that. So if I go into cruise control, we are going to keep flying, right? We're going to leave the atmosphere very shortly. I could probably go up a little bit higher to come out of it. There we are. We're in space. We're cruise controlling. If I press I, right? I just turned my engines off, but we're still moving at speed. Why does this happen then, Lesbozar, in space? It would change the flight model principle too much. My engines are off, dude, and I'm already fucking slowing down. So what video game are you playing? It shouldn't, exactly. That would be realistic. But guess what? This is a video game, boys and girls. This makes sense in a video game. That you're not just drifting out into space. So again, please, don't try and educate me on the flight model of this game. I know it better than most. The point being is that even with engines off, and even if I decouple, right? Say I decouple, and we turn engines off, it still comes down to bring us back into this mode. You will not drift to Narnia, you will not do anything, you will come to a halt. Then it's using fuel to slow you down. It's not doing anything. I have engines on off graphic. I am naturally coming to a halt because this is the design of the game. Where people just don't fucking disappear into the black. And then nobody can find them, alright? I would report it as a bug. Well, it's not a bug. This is intent. This is how the game is, where I am naturally slowing down. Because, again, this is a video game. And it means that people can catch up to people. Because if you didn't, I could go at full speed, go to bed, decoupled, and fucking turn my engines off so I don't waste fuel or power supply or anything like that. And then I just fucking go to sleep and you guys are chasing after me fucking dripping in wet, you know? It's space. Yes, it's space. I know, but this is a video game. You can't have the just drift away into outer space. It can't work in a video game. Well, yeah, Veshcam, but we need to sort Alt F4 in beforehand. But the point being is, this game is designed around that eventually down the line, I will kill your engines and you will come to a halt so I can board you. Because if you don't have this mechanic, there is no boarding. Because it shuts down your engines. right away. Or, again, it's a gameplay loop. It's not meant to make sense, guys. You've got to remember, we're already bending time when you quantum drive. Our ships fly like World War II fighters, but they can bend time. You don't see that as an issue already? You know what I mean? Realistic went out the fucking window the moment Chris Roberts designed this game. Exactly, as Mordo says, you can't simulate a video game and keep it into an arcade realm. It has to be arcade. It has to make a little sense. Dude, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I can literally stand on top of a spaceship as it goes and bends time, and I can dance on the fucking roof of the ship and nothing happens to me. How does that make sense? When you pull 30 G's and your eyes don't even fill with blood, how does that make sense? You know what I mean? Making sense in Star Citizen is out the window. It's a sci-fi video game, not a fucking simulator. And this is where, like I said, fun mechanics is better than, oh, I should be able to decouple and fucking spin around and then climb into my cryo chamber so I fucking live forever, you know? Yeah, well, we're getting space whales and yetis, you know? We're already getting wizards and unicorns. It's called a space whale and a yeti. I'm a space scientist and I can confirm everything as it should be. Again, people have to look at this as a video game. You want to play a simulator, guess what? Go and learn to be an actual astronaut in NASA. If you want realism. If you want to fly jet fighters at fucking Mach 4, again, go and train for X-Force or whatever it's called in America. NASA's a fraud. I love the gravity generator of Avenger that can overcome a gravity of Microtech even when the ship has no power. Makes perfect sense. Exactly. Again, the whole mentality of, oh, it should make sense. I'm sorry. There's so many things broken with this game that you can't start going, oh, in real life, this is how it would be. I would agree with you. If it was a full-blown simulator and we're all playing simulator video game, I would agree with you. Expands kind of combat, all that jazz. But this is Star Citizen, Chris Roberts' dream. And in Chris Roberts' dream, he has it where we're flying World War II fucking jet fighters that can bend time, deal with 30 Gs at no problem, and have enough fuel to get home for cookies and cream, you know? Whilst having a cockpit that looks like somebody fucking put it together in their balsa wood, you know, sim pit at home. Like, seriously, what the fuck is this? You know? It literally looks like a sim pit fucking cockpit. Somebody made with their fucking balsa wood MFDs, you know, all that shit. They couldn't afford the Monster Tech rig. Take it to the point of realism and bring it back for fun. Yeah, exactly. So, again, as this conversation is going down, and obviously I agree with Leswazar, like, it should be like this, but you can't have a video game that is realistic on this level, because it just doesn't make it a video game at that stage, you know? So as we're naturally slowing down, there needs to be a mechanic to slow us down even faster. To bring you down to instantly SEM speed. To play this game. Or, like I said, you have people in Carracks going full speed, decouple backwards, and all they do is just fucking wave at you as you can't do a fucking thing because you can't catch up to them. That's not a video game. It's the same as eventually down the line, I'm going to be able to shoot your quantum drive and you're not going to be able to warp away. Then scrap atmosphere flight mechanics. Why would you scrap atmosphere flight mechanics? Because again, that's making a different game mode graphic. We've already had the game where it was one flight model for every location. It's boring. Going into atmosphere should be a challenge on itself. Well, you haven't got a space mechanic. Yes, you do. You can literally keep your engines on. Right? I can go to full speed. And then I can just fucking turn around. So you have your fucking space flying right there. They've just made it where mechanics where you can't just sit like this for eternity. Yeah, they could do something like that, Mike, yeah. Because that's a game mechanic graphic. That's to prevent you doing what I just literally said. If I could turn my engines off just now and just drift and drift and drift and drift and every 10 minutes come back to click on the screen or have a macro that does it, it means that somebody disappears into the black and you can never get to them. This breaks the gameplay loop of certain things. So they have mechanics in place to stop this. You are either going to run out of fuel or you're going to drift away and can't be collected again. And building in atmospheric flight is because they want to have it where it's a different game mode altogether. As in like getting out to FPS and shoot around and stuff like that. It does not have to make full logic and realism to it. It just needs to be at the point as described. Take it to the point of realism and then bring it back to fun. It's not fun if somebody can literally cheese this game. Again, why I campaign a lot about sorting out talons and guns and all these things, because cheese is shit. The ability to kill yourself and teleport across space is boring. It means that anyone that's in trouble just self-destructs their ship and disappears. And then when you have people logging off, they just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into the black. And they can never be killed then. Because it would, like I said, you'd literally spend all day flying out into a location, Criminal 5, people can see you on fucking scanners and stuff, then you log off, you log back in, because eventually down the line we're going to have persistence where you appear back in, and you literally can never be killed. That's not a gameplay loop. And everything has to be a gameplay loop. You can't have the crazy realism shit, it doesn't make any sense in a video game. Unless you go full simulator. Like, we had that space game a while back. What was it called? The one where docking was an absolute nightmare. And shit like that. Oh, moment, is that fucking locked in? Is that why it's doing it? Yeah, here we go. The memes. I'm definitely gonna have to change my staggered fire button. Anything alt related does not work well. If I'm pressing another button at time, we will have to do some configuration here. Well, who knows in the future? Who knows? Maybe they'll make it where you can drop probes and get pinpoint accuracy on warping into people, but yeah. Oh yeah, I know, graphic. Again, like I said, if we were playing a full-blown simulator, I would agree with both of you completely. But I'm looking at the point where if somebody can literally just disappear in this game because they can just drift and drift and drift and drift, yeah, it gets really, 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 really silly for a video game. It's why you can't do it in Elite Dangerous. It's why that you used to be able to do it in Even Liner, they've made it where you can no longer do it. Because deep safe saving is a bad way to break the fucking game, you know? You just literally hide all your assets out in these deep space areas. And yeah, it completely fucks it. Right, how am I gonna sort this one? Weapons. Yeah. This game is very bad by using this system. How can I do this? I wonder if it's because it's sticking on this. If I... Alright, let's bring that back up. Yeah, this might be the issue. I think what I'm going to do is make a macro instead of the key. So let's left shift there. It's going to be under shift and it's here. Left alt Y here is that. That's fine. Right arrow mouse. Where is it? Yeah, this is it. This is what we're going to change. So we need to make this into a macro instead. We're going to add a macro and we're going to have it where this one is right alt and then it is numpad 0. So that's press right alt, press now, release and stop it. We'll then delete this. So it's the same key. The problem is I think this does not release as much as I need it to do. This is going to be where it actually has the release. So we get rid of that. And this is one thing I hate about Joy2Key where, or sorry, Starset Gremlin, where you can't move things around. So I'm going to have that there, get rid of that. And description, add there. Now, one thing I did before I deleted these things was I forgot to check out the condition. So this will be minus, or yeah, -1. That's good. That's -1. We keep it there. So this is the same thing where it's the exact same thing. It's just we're making a macro of the actual thing. So this is right alt plus. There, delete the mouse keys, delete that, and then because my OCD is a fucking bitch, and you can't move it down. This, again, this would be so amazing if you could just drag it down, but they don't have this. So that's going to be bomb range. Again, I think this is causing my joysticks to lock up. Save profile there. Now this one is stagger mode. So again, do I have it on the left as well? No, I don't. That's good. So it's only the right I have these weird keys. Alright, so macro. We're gonna do where this is right alt and G. Oh, it didn't release. It didn't press it over there. Let's do. Oh no, stop the recording. Fuck off. This didn't do it. Right alt, G, and then release it. Actually, should it be G before? We'll see how this one goes. Then we delete that, delete that. So again, it's basically turning. This takes the keyboard command and puts on my joystick, but I'm pretty sure it's not releasing the key, and when I'm alt-tabbing, it's locked up in some way. Stagger mode. Description there. Add that. Save this. So this, let's see if it does it. Up. Oh, no, it's not doing it. It's like that. Maybe it's pressing G at the same time. Let's quickly go to Arena Commander and test it. If you give a little realism and drain fuel slightly and the ship slows, it runs out of fuel, you drift, phone the fuel rats and they track to you dock. Again, I'm all for these things, but I look at the fact that if there is not a mechanic to stop you, you have people literally making what we had in EVE Online, which was dead safes. And when you have dead safes in a video game like Star Citizen, like Eve, right, that's working fine. It's not making anything. So if I do this now in this, and I do this, I'm just gonna bring this here. Let's see if this works. Close that down. That there. This was the issue we had where I click on it. Nice. So it's not holding the buttons anymore. Good. Good, 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 good. That's a quick fix then. So I've got to remember that if I'm ever using joystick gremlin and I'm using right alt or right control, I need to make it where it's a macro, not a push bind. It'll be the exact same button, but I have to tell gremlin that it has to release it, or I have complications. They can start slowing you down at the age of the system though. It's easy though. Again, there's one way they can get it to do it, and it's just basically where you can't log off unless you're at a halt. Okay? You have to be at 100% halt and you can log off, right? If you're drifting, you can't log off. That's one way to sort it. The second is bringing out an item or a weapon system that naturally, like you said, is a tractor beam to slow people down, basically. And then, with what we're talking about, fixes all the problems. The thing is, as I've described most of the stuff at the beginning of this show and throughout the show, CIG don't seem to do things easy. And instead of adding these things that we're talking about, which a lot of people would agree with, allowing you to drift in space without engines on and you've got life supports on and you're just spinning around like in Pitch Black kind of style, I'm all for that shit, but there has to be a reason why somebody can get captured without them cheesing the game. And this is where CIG are a little slow on bringing out something like this now before we have the complications. Because you know what is going to happen? We are going to have people going at full speed, decoupling and logging out, and they can't be stopped because of it. So hopefully somebody figures out where to go. Because look, again,
all systems online.
I just magically spawned into my ship, you know? I'm in my ship. I could have been drifting through space, and I'm at the point where, you know what I mean? Like, nobody can capture me at this stage. I can be warping before anyone gets to my location with the current mechanics. So you have to have it where people come to a halt. For now, anyway. And again, we can have it where CIG do all the things that we're talking about in the future, but we're talking... I always base the game on now, what we have. Not what we're going to get in the future, because the biggest thing for the future is they want to redo a full flight model, so everything is redone again, that incorporates atmosphere flying with control surfaces. They want to rebalance all the weapons, all your HUDs, all your shields that they've already done. It's all to be rebalanced again or redone. It's just like, can I please just get the video game? You know what I mean? So if you have to sacrifice stopping in space graphic and levels are just so I get to play this fucking game, I will sacrifice you guys with your needs for this game just so I get to play it. Because if not, we are going to be always going round and around and around in circles, and all of us are going to have grey beards and hair coming out of our ears and giant long nails because we can't afford to get manicures or whatever, and that becomes a big issue. I do not want to have to wait until I'm a first to play. But is it perfect, you know? Just let's get a game out, you know? That's the biggest thing, guys. I know that a lot of people want realism, Newtons, quantum, all that jazz, right? I get it. I understand it. I would love to have loads more mechanics, but I would also like to be able to play this game before I die. So I'm going to be a little bit selfish and just say, fuck your needs. I want to play a video game. I don't want to keep going round in circles. And I say that in the nicest way possible. I just want to play Star Citizen. But I don't want to have to deal with this shit.
Bottom drive is now up.
Maybe in the future. Who knows? When we're playing Star Citizen 2. When we're all playing Star Citizen 2. Keep it simple, just bring mesh in. Well, that's a completely different department, Salty, but yeah, like I would agree with you on that. Like, the game can't really go much more forward without the ability to up the level of it, you know. But I don't think we're gonna get meshing until the end of like next year earliest, so right now, just some really simple balanced choices, quality of life fixes, and then just give us the game for 12 months, you know? There's plenty of content in the game if the current content just works. And we don't need pyro, we don't need outpost building, all these things will come in the future and hopefully it'll be amazing. But right now, I would just like to see what we have with Star Citizen actually working, you know? I would like to see all ships being viable. I don't want to see any more cheese mechanics. I want Alt F4 to be taken out or punished when people are under attack, where they don't just disappear, they can't use it to run away. I don't want to see it where you just self-destruct your ship to get another one and go back. I want a punishment in that way, and I want to see it where you don't just kill yourself just so you teleport across the game. I want all the cheese removed before pyro, because I want to enjoy this game without being like, oh look, there we go, we've spent all this time capturing somebody, oh look, they alt F4'd. Oh look, they just decided to kill themselves right now. They're now back at Grim Hex whilst we're at Microtech or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just silly. This game cannot go forward without these things being fixed. And then server meshing, you know, just gonna make it. Can you imagine this, right? This is how I look at it. Imagine if we get server meshing, Salty, right? And you're in the middle of a fleet fight, 10 versus 10, and the other team just to go, you know what, we've killed 2 of Salty's players, everyone all F4. Like, I would be raging. I would be absolutely raging, and this is what will happen when we get server meshing, because people go, oh, we're not winning, or we've managed to kill one of them, let's all alt F4 to get out of the game. CIG have to solve this one instantly, and Eve does it a great way, where if you are attacked by an NPC or a player, you cannot, your ship does not disappear for 15 minutes, which means that somebody can destroy you and take all your shit in that time. I think it's actually up to 30 minutes now where you don't disappear. You can be on your plane flight or train to another city in real life, but your ship in video game ain't going anywhere. And they have to have aggression timers added to the game. Yeah. Well, this is why I'm saying, Mordors, they need to make it where you can't bedlog, because you know that if you put cruise control on, you can actually, like, if anyone's ever doing this, don't decouple and get out your seat, you'll slow down. Keep cruise control on and get out your chair and you keep moving, because people do this and then they get into their bedlogging seats and they disappear. And I think you should have to come to a complete halt. 0 meters a second to bedlog. And you shouldn't be able to do it in combat. The game should go, no, you're aggressed. So even if you alt F4, you're still there for like 15 minutes. Tough tits. Because the moment server meshing comes in, or sharding, or however it is, my worry is somebody just alt F4s and then comes back like 6 hours later and just logs in and there's no damage taken, you know? I'll go and play an alt, because everyone has an alt, you know? And it'll be like, oh, Salty and Mordor's attacked my 1 trillion UEC hauling ship. But don't worry, I can play on my alt for another 6 hours till they get bored, and then I'll log in on my third account to see if they're still camping me. Oh, they're not camping me? Log my main in, you know? That's what happens with this bullshit mechanic. Not only do bounty hunters that are failing do it so they keep your bounty marker, blues do it to run from pirates or criminals, and criminals do it if they're overwhelmed. It's just like, no, we can't have this. You have to have a risk versus reward situation at all times. Because you could be doing it against NPCs. Oh, I'm losing in this NPC matchup. I'm going to just Alt F4. I don't want to lose my stuff. No, you should lose your stuff because you fucked up. Yeah, that cruise control, when you spend 6 hours looking for a miner or trader for them to just do that, Alt F4 is, yeah, it's just disgusting. Like, well, again, they are working on it, Sketch. They are literally, hopefully, copying the exact method of EVE Online, which means that if an NPC shoots you and connects with you, you get shot by a player and it connects with you, even if you try and log out, if you Alt F4, your ship will not disappear. It comes to a complete halt, and it disappears after 15 to 30 minutes. It's called a combat logger, or a combat timer. And Star Citizen are designing it now for the game. We don't know if we'll get it this year or next year or whenever, but the idea is the moment you've been shot by something and it's actually connected, you cannot leave the game. If you close the game down with Alt F4, tough tits. Your character is still there, your ship has just come to a complete halt. This is why, going back to what we're talking about with Les Bazaar and Graphic, is it has to come to a stop. Because again, people will just get this timer on themselves, keep cruising in the direction, Alt F4, and they'll come back 30 minutes later after they've had lunch. And you can't do anything about it, because they just literally disappear at full speed. And that's not a gameplay at all. I'm sorry, it's not. Oh, special snowflakes, I just know it way too well. Scouting for target to fire and just see them. I know I did. It's why I never really do any major bounty hunting stuff and all that jazz. Oh, look at these things teleporting around. But it will get sorted. CIG know it's now got to the stage where people just Alt F4 or they self-destruct. And I think personally you should be punished if you self-destruct your ship. And here's my way of punishing you. Literally, if you self-destruct for no reason, you lose your ship. Even if you've paid money for it. That's my punishment for people who misuse this stuff right now. If you self-destruct your ship for no reason, like say you're stuck or something like that, that's too far, I don't care. I don't care. When you literally self-destruct the moment that you're in combat to avoid any of these mechanics, you should be punished for it. You lose your ship, that's it. You're not good enough to fly this ship. Tough tits. Spend more money. Buy it in game. Again. Because that's the problem that you have right now, where people just use all the cheese to get around this game. And the moment that, even if the cheese is fixed, they'll still find more cheese to do things. Punish players is the best way to deal with people that just want to cheese video games and cheat their way through life. Just punish them. Yeah, but that's a different kind of game though, Zaman, you know what I mean? I got pirated in a Learn Night Boom patch by Mongo Squad, and it was one of the most funny. Yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of people that will just destroy their ships in spite, Konako, or Alt F4, instead of actually interacting that way. Like, oh, I'm not going to be pirated, and you're not getting anything on board. I'm self-destructing. But then there's no punishment. They just get their ship back, and then they go and get more cargo. There has, like, fair enough, even Fireball says that's too far. That's just my opinion on it. But CIG do need to make it where people are punished for self-destructing their ships instead of going through the interaction system. They have to punish people. Yeah, exactly. I've seen Cutlet, right? capturing somebody that has 1.4 million of cargo on board their caterpillar. He asked for 10 to 15k and they self-destructed it in spite. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Why even play the game at that stage? Self-destruct should void insurance. Yeah, I would agree so. Or make it where, for example, if you self-destruct a ship and say it's like a caterpillar, you don't get it back for a day or something like that. Yeah, but then Fireball, you're looking into a bad you're looking into a bad way to advertise the game, where I would agree with you for a tactical way of doing it, but you're also encouraging suicide. Suicide ramming, suicide bombing, suicide, you know what I mean. And in today's PC world, you should not be advertising self-harm to win at things, you know what I mean? It's the same with like, with the topic on you should not be advertising that this game has slave trading. Because, again, people freak out about that just now. So there should be no way of doing tactical self-destruct or not advertising it as what, you know what I mean? Like, you would do it to yourself, basically. Keep it to yourself. But no, alright guys, I want 10 of you to self-destruct into the side of this ship so we win. That's not gameplay, dude. Well, that's meant to happen, Dealer 6, but once we get the full mechanic of insurance, what's meant to happen with insurance is when you lose your ship, self-destruct it, you're meant to get the money back after a period of time, and then you actually have to go and buy the ship again inside the game. You don't get it respawning in your hangar, by the way. That will eventually go out of the window. So the punishment will be where you have to go and you have to go down to the dealership and pick up a ship, and it might not be there. But the problem with that is that people will just buy like 6 to 10 of the same ship and they won't give a shit. So how do you stop people from literally abusing self-destruct? How do you stop people from abusing self-destruct if they can go and buy 10, 20 of the same ship and just every time they get caught, they keep doing it? Yeah, a lot of people like it, Sketch, but there is a humongous amount of community that just self-destruct or alt F4 because they don't want to have any loss in this game, and it's an alpha. That's what makes it even worse. They're like, if they were doing this in live, like full release Star Citizen, I could somewhat understand, you know? But they're doing it in alpha where nothing means anything. And they're self-destructing their ships instead of having that little player interaction because they're just pissed off they got their caught with their pants down, you know? Exactly, Deus6. Like, most of the time when people actually do a parity mechanic or interaction, they only ask for like 10k or, you know, something like that. Like, it's not even worth somebody's time to self-destruct. It's like, alright, I'll pay. I've got 1.4 million of reward on my ship. Let me just, you know, let me just self-destruct or be like, hey guys, you know what? Here's 50k. Thank you very much for being cool pirates. You know, and even if they kill you after it, then you've got a note of who not to trust. Yeah, they only do it out of spite. Exactly. Alt F4 or they self-destruct because it is purely spite. And this is where, again, we have to get to the stage where CIG stop allowing the cheese loopholes, even in the state of the game it is just now. It's got to be stopped. Prison needs to be fixed. Loopholes of cheese have to be fixed. Doing things to do things out of spite needs to be fixed. And it's very easy to sort these things out. Just make it where, like I said, when you Alt F4, you're still in the game, even though you don't have the game open. And if you try to bedlog, you have to be at complete 0, and it might take a little bit longer than instant. And again, with the self-destruct, just make it where if somebody's attacking you, your self-destruct is double the time. And every time they like, say for example, you when you are getting shot at, you can't self-destruct. there's how you solve it. So every time somebody hits a timer, you say, for example, something takes a minute to blow up. When you are shooting at it, it takes maybe 5 minutes or something like that. That would actually be a really cool idea, Captain Skits. That would be a cool idea, where self-destruct is not used as a weapon or a thing like that, but it's a scuttling mechanic where... Have you guys ever played Sea of Thieves? When you scuttle, all your cargo appears intact for somebody to grab it. That would work in Star Citizen. If you don't want to do the interaction, you can scuttle your ship and then you get teleported, but everyone, the pirate group wins. You know? That would be cool. One more, you shouldn't be able to self-destruct when you're shut down from an EMP. Exactly, I know. When your power is off, you should not be able to EMP, as far as I'm concerned. Sorry, you should not be able to self-destruct. When you are completely shut down, you should not be able to self-destruct your ship. Exactly, Captain Skis, yeah. They have to remove the spiteful cheese in this game. And again, before anyone starts complaining that it's always reds that do it, no. I've seen a lot of blues who will come after me with a bounty. They come after me when I'm crime. They will attack me and then they start to lose and they alt F4 when they're losing. I have seen it with my own eyes with people doing it to that level. I've seen people who are bounty hunters and they go after reds and the reds will alt F4 to get away from being put in prison. I've seen it where when reds are trying to pirate people, the blues will alt F4. I've seen every angle from it and it definitely needs to be solved. But then I've also seen where people self-destruct way more just to get out of a situation, and I think scuttling would be a much nicer way of doing it. Plus, unfortunately, for what who was it? Fireball said, I'm for a tactical self-destruct. I personally don't agree with that in the game. I don't think you should be able to have 10 alts just ramming and self-destructing into somebody to win in this game. And that's what will happen the moment server machines are bored. I literally have 2 PCs. I could have a suicide character on the other computer, and before I engage you, I ram and self-destruct your ship to damage it, and then I bring my main character in. That's not good. That's not good. You'll see people with like 5 PCs hotboxing the game, if that's the case. Yeah, that's very true, Mordos, yeah. But it definitely has to come into play, because we're very much at the stage now where a lot of people are abusing these systems. It definitely has to get sorted out. And I would like to see this all sorted before Pyro is ever a situation. Because you know what's going to happen. You'll go into Pyro as a blue and you're going to get pirated by criminals because you're going into criminal space, and all the space dads who do this shit, you know, not saying that every space dad does it, but a lot do it, and they will just literally go through the portal to Pyro, be like, oh, I'm getting attacked by a player, alt F4. I'll wait a couple of hours till they get bored and I'll go and play on an alt for the time being. That's what happens with the gameplay when you do it. Oh, I'm being captured. I can't alt F4, I'll just self-destruct. Fuck it, I don't care. It's in an alpha anyway, you know? That's not fun for them, it's like work. What do you mean? What do you mean with people hotboxing? Or dual boxing, whatever you want to call it. This thing's pretty fast, apart from the weird shaders on the go. That's not work for people, dude. Like, in EVE Online, I've seen somebody with 20 accounts on, like, 5 different PCs, all macro together to literally make a fleet in control of one person. People will go to the extreme if you can use cheese, dude. It's like when you have cheaters and when people go, why does this person keep cheating in Warzone? Because literally 60 bucks or making another account is little effort for these people. They just love to shit on you with their cheats. And that's the reality. You will always have people that want to just use their cheaty stuff to shit on folk. And even if CIG do balance out the game a lot better, there will still always be somebody that finds a way to fuck with the game. New topic, will Pyro release more Stanton more safe? I don't know, like, because again, you've got to look at it this way, Mordors. If you are pirating or being a criminal in Pyro, for example, where's the thrill of being red? You're technically blue, and you can never turn red, so you're just, you know what I mean? Like, there's never that thrill of actually getting caught in Pyro. So I would imagine there will be still a lot of people that like to do pirating in Stanton, just so they get that thrill of possibly being caught. Ooh, that power slide is quite bad. Yeah, I generally don't see any problem with this ship in the atmosphere. I would have to massively disagree with the sweats on this one this time. This thing flies really, really well in atmosphere for what you're getting from it. Small profile, 2 shields, 6 guns. You're only going to get defeated by like a sweaty Arrow or Gladius pilot. That's it. Maybe a Talon. But this thing's not, it shouldn't be dogfighting these rate ships, you know? But this will absolutely wreck like a Vanguard kind of deal. Plenty of capacitor for moving around as well. Look at that, 400, 500. That maneuvering still up to 600 meters a second. Get that recharge in. Yeah, I don't think this should be as agile as a Gladius. Massively disagree. This is the Hawk, Chris. The little Hawk, but it's got 6 guns, 4 size 2s, 2 size 1s, it's got EMP, it has no missiles, it has 2 size 1 shields, it's a very, very small ship, it can actually carry somebody in the bottom tail area, that I'll show you here. And people want this to be as agile or as useful as a Gladius Arrow in atmosphere? I disagree. Massively, massively. This thing would just, again, there would be no reason for an Arrow or a Gladius if this flies exactly like it.
Engines offline.
Hey Gallifrey, how you doing, sir? Exactly, Mordors, you're pretty much blue, so I think people will still pirate and stuff. Yeah, so you can basically put somebody, you can go in here, and if I remember correctly, you can actually log off whilst being inside this chair. Because this is where you're meant to put your prisoner, which again is just like the most silliest design ever, you know? But if I remember correctly, yeah, you can log out inside a Hawk. So I'll just go into deep space, when people are chasing after me, I'll quickly climb into here and then I'll log out. Yeah, okay. No problem. Yeah, they want all ships to do every role, and I disagree with this. Like, I do not want every ship to fly like a Gladius or an Arrow or be even on its level. This thing is small, 2 shields, 6 guns, EMP, the ability to carry somebody, and it's really, really rapid. In my opinion, in the straight line. It's faster than a Gladius going forward in atmosphere. Can it outturn the Gladius? No. But again, you could probably kill a Gladius with the damage that it's got. Because the Gladius would suffer from the profile. Heck, I might even actually use this. This actually is a pretty decent ship. Certainly if a Vanguard comes against you, it's like, pff, who fucking cares, you know? Good visibility. I like the ability to land there like that, so good. But again, yeah, like 500, 600. Let's see as she goes around the corner. We'll do a hard push now. 11G push. 300. Level her out. 400, 500. And that's us out of Afterburner now. 11G push around the fucking mountain at 300 odd meters a second. And still enough to get us back up to 600 in a straight. What more do you actually want from this thing? Babble time. God, the just look of EMP is just the most shittest thing, like. They should have just made it where off the shield tech, like lightning came out. And the cooldown is pretty rapid actually on it. Look at it. I can now EMP all over again. Holy shit. I don't know how effective it would be, but... I personally think that the Hawk shouldn't have an EMP, but it should have a QED. I think it should have a QED. And just get rid of dampener and just make it a one system thing from now on. Just a bubble that pulls people out and you got a 20-kilometer dampener as standard. That's how it should be. On all the ships, like the Mantis, the whole idea that you've got the snare and the dampener, it should just be all one thing. Don't make it too confusing for people. I remember Star Cruiser used to love the Hawk. He had it with like neutron fit and stuff, and he would fucking wreck people. But his complaint was like this was the time where it overheated, that it overheated a lot more. But he used to just absolutely clap people in it. Does it have a light? No. It's got no light. Yeah, this actually is it's pretty sick. I need to take it to Microtech, see what speed she can do. Naughty Ostrich, hello. How you doing, Chief? Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, Hawk EMP recycles pretty quickly. It's got a tiny bubble though, and yes, it would make more sense for it to be QD. Yeah, be a lot cooler, I think. With the Airbnb in the back, yeah. Alright, let's take it to Microtech. And look at the speed. 1300 as well. It ain't exactly the slowest ship. Does it have enough quantum tank? It does. I'll quickly go for a bio break, make myself a cup of tea as we move. Make sure, guys, exclamation mark April if you want to get in the weekly giveaway. 400i green skin, courtesy of CIG. Do it. All you have to be doing is following the channel and all that good stuff. I'm going to quickly take a bio break and I will be back in 2 minutes, alright? Well, actually, maybe longer because I'm making a cup of tea. Been an SE backer for years, but yet to make the jump to sticks. This just sold it on me. I can do a lot crazier shit if you want to see later, Naughty Ostrich, but we'll test it on Microtech first. Back in a bit, guys. Alright. If they have the Hawk, a QED, Sig would make it just pointless though, and give it range like... Yeah, I know, Mortis. That's why I mean, like, QED needs to be designed around, like, look at it this way. 10k on a Hawk, that's your bubble. 20k on a Mantis, because it's a bigger ship. Move into another bigger ship that has QD, like the Cutlass Blue, 30 kilometers. Bigger ship, 40 kilometers, and then like capital size could be like 100 kilometers or something like that. That would be a great way of doing it, because 10 kilometers on a Hawk is very generous. 20k on a Mantis, and we're talking about where the snare and the dampener are combined together as well. So you fire up the snare the same speed as you fire up the dampener and you power it down. You know, powering down would be the same speed as as the snare, but the snare and the dampener are combined into just one system. So you have the speed of the dampener to fire it off, and the speed of the cooldown on the snare, like we have just now, in one unit. 10 kilometer range on the Hawk, 20 on the Mantis, 30 on the Cutlass Blue. It would be so good. Exactly, dude, because again, if you have the ability to like slow down ships in the future, 100 kilometers is a big bubble to come into, you know? But we had this in EVE Online and it was so good, dude. Setting up bubble camps, snaring people. Again, CIG just have made mechanics that make sense, but they never finish them to make it where it's worthwhile. And if you had a snare that also acted as a dampener, and maybe it even slowed somebody down, you know? It'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Here's another thing you could do, right? In EVE Online, we had heavy interdictor Mordors, where it could actually do single target, and it could move and orbit very fast, right? It had like a 20 kilometer single target. It could stop something from warping away if you locked it and fired the weapon at it. Or you would basically go into bubble mode, but you couldn't move very fast. You were a slow target then. They could do the same thing in Star Citizen, where they could have a single target, like, boom, I've got you. You can't warp now. Only one ship though. And if I go into bubble, I have to go at SEM speed to stay up with something, you know? Which would allow you to have, like, ships coming in doing single target to lock down, maybe make a bubble whilst you've got them all stopped, and stuff like that. It'd be really, really cool. If any of you use T16000s and want a template for recording bindings, let me know. I'll throw it in Discord or something. Ah, cool. Just appreciate that. I've got an old Xbox controller that I'm gonna set up for doing videos. But I'm not doing anything until I finish these 30 days and then start working on Logan videos in May. Because literally with some of the mechanics and stuff, I want to... May is pretty much concentrating on getting the Logan episodes out every week. Getting more people in, fighting, making the videos and stuff, because it's not meant to be done live. It's meant to be done off stream recording. So it's kind of like, oh, this is going to be cool. I have no idea who's going to win kind of thing. If you do it live, it kind of ruins the suspense on it, you know. Plus, it's going to look mint in 4K. But hopefully we'll be starting that in May. But I need to get the gamepad set up to do slow camera panning. Because I want to be able to like fly and then sort of like have it on my lap and just quickly pan it as I'm going in a straight line or something like that. Going in a straight line. Right. Well, that's interesting. Where's all the points? Okay, quantum drive not working. Mayday, mayday. Is it on the opposite side? No, it's not. Good. More treasure. Off. Oh god, it's gonna be like that. Yeah, this thing's pretty fast actually in the atmosphere. Alright. And then we're going 210. 210 from Trezler. No, it's this way. Shit. And then it will change into 205, I think. Oh no, it's 105. 105, sorry. 105. This way. Then when we hit atmosphere, it'll change to 210. Because for some reason they have different for it. That's how you do it from space. Cruise here. 105, 480 kilometers, and then it'll change to 210. No, you can't do that, sadly. Everyone, this is why, like, most EVE players will come to Star Citizen Mordors, because everything in Star Citizen is what we all wanted in EVE. In EVE, you're just an embryo in a pod that can control giant capital ships from your mind and stuff like that. That's how they have it in the lore. A monster Gundam, basically. Right, so it changes there. Then it's to 210. So we're going into atmosphere. But this way, it should take us to the river. It should do. We'll see. Let's do this. Yeah, we got poor treasure there. So we got a bit to go. 480 out. I know there's a way you can warp around and stuff like that, but I just can't be bothered doing that mechanic. Unless... I actually don't see any markers. Because we got something booked in? Oh yeah, Port Teresa is booked in, that's why. Yeah, I can just do this then. I don't even know if this ship will do it. No. Alright. You gotta fully power down. I doesn't work, but full shutdown does. Good to know. We're falling. Whee! May have gone a little too far. Maybe. Maybe. See, where? Oh, god. Also, we got major torque imbalance. How does this ship get hit like that? Oh yeah, we're massively out. Okay. We went a lot further than I should have. I wonder if I can do this though. Let's see. can't do it back the way. Interesting. Oh, look at that. Look at it just spinning out of control. Almost like it's realistic mechanics.
Aerospace. All systems online.
Yeah, I'll just enjoy my cup of tea then. Do it this way. Yeah, 105. Still want to know how the hell I've got major torque imbalance on this thing. Move in? Yes. That's interesting. Now it should be. Yeah, there we go. CIG is trying to make a sandbox into a theme park. I know. It definitely is one of these things where like they're trying to make it arcadey, they're trying to make it a sandbox, they're trying to make it realistic, and it won't work as a game if you do that. Music Green Boy, welcome in. Isn't this game cool? This game is very cool. I'm probably halfway through the first bag. It's not gonna last very long, tough. Again, it's a treat, and I'm going to use it as a full treat. Hey, Villette, welcome in, Chief. You can't afford it? Well, guess what, Music Green Boy? At the end of May, we are going to have a free flight where you'll be able to play it for free and even see if you like it. !SCREF, one word. If you've not made an account, you're welcome to use my referral code. And then you can see for yourself if you like the game. And then there is discounts as well, where I think you get like 30% off the game around about these times on starter ships. So there you go, you'll be able to play it for free, see if your PC runs it. At the end of May it should be coming out. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. There's a lot of people in chat who know what they're talking about. Although don't trust Mordor's. Mordor's is untrustable. You can't listen to a word he says. If you have a PC that can run SE, you can afford it. Not necessarily. People save up money for PCs and then, you know, they look at their lives and they can't justify spending $45 on something that they might not enjoy, you know? Everyone's money is completely different. Yeah, this does have lights. Why doesn't it work? The technical side of this ship is actually really, really cool. Alright, we're nearly there. Never trusted Gemini. Dive! 105.95. In we go. Burn through the atmosphere. I need this camera here for this one, I think. What? This is it. So go there. I've been changing all my keybinds for cameras in PTU because obviously without the thing. There we go, chat. Look at that. Puff, puff. Puff, puff, pass. It needs to be a little bit more on the nose. The nose. That's cool. A little bit more to my right, but I'm gonna just keep puffing. Actually, that is my thumbnail for tomorrow, if I can time it in correctly. There we go. Beautiful. That's my thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen. It's a shame we got like a torque and balance, but whatever. I still want the Prowler to be fast and have guns. It's lighter than Vulcan. Dude, it needs to... I like, CIG need to put the Prowler back to how it used to be and take off the size 5s and just leave it where it's got the turret to protect it. And it will be so mint if they did that. CIG, again, with their very, very bad choices of balancing. They should have never changed the flight capability of the Prowler. It's designed to be fast, agile. All they had to do was take down the weapon size and stuff. Yeah, if you look at all my videos, Zayman, they all have thumbnails. But then it goes over to exclamation mark VODs and stuff. Did I hear somebody say puff puff pass? Yeah. Hey Arctic, welcome in. No, dude. 2 size 5s on a very agile ship? Like, and we're talking about old school version of it, Mordors. That's far too powerful, dude. If it went down to like or make it where the turret is size 4s or something like that. 2 size 4 for the turret, and the pilot loses the guns. It's a dropship, dude. It can't be a gunship. You know? Is that where the river is? That's not where the river is. Oh yeah, it is where the river is. My bad. What do we have here? We got a star lifter. I do have... I think it's on my pitch. Or... No, it's my verticals. Ooh. That's nasty. That is nasty. Alright, we're coming in squat clunch. She actually feels pretty good. I'm not gonna go in deep on it. 400? Yeah, that's a fucking push, like. This thing feels really good in atmosphere. Again, we're gonna lose a lot of energy on this, but I wouldn't be doing it like this. Also, can I please, for the love of God, have this taken off? Port Tresler. That's quite a bit of fuel. Is that a C2? Oh, it's an A2, so it could drop bombs. Maybe it's been dropping them in the water, who knows? Yeah, so here we go. We're gonna have to actually do a proper bank. If you try and yaw her, she goes out. Oh shit, what the fuck is going on there, like? Again, shame about the torque imbalance, so I can't actually see what it's like without damage, but it seems to be pretty good. She's got some push for how small she is. So we're doing like, what, nearly 300 in the straight. We dumped the tank. 400. Capping out about 420 maybe. Burns nicely. Again, if you play this ship more of a like a kind of cannon build kind of setup, instead of trying to dogfight Gladius and stuff, have this as like a support ship. Yeah, not bad actually. Weapons regen really fast. come in, drop off. It's got a big signature radius, which is annoying. 10,000 on the old cross section, which is a bit annoying. Nice push though. She does have a nice push. It's just the rotation side. Yeah, cool with like ballistic cannons actually. I'm gonna do a lot. Had an earworm on shift. Perfect. Just watched the video and thought of Lofine. Had an earworm on shift. Had an earworm on shift. Exterior perfect. Just watched the video and thought of you, Lofine. Am I messed up or is that a compliment? I don't even know what you're talking about. Are you talking about something from song Stuck in the Head? Earworm. By who? Let's have a listen to it. Earworm. Is it? What's the song? Yeah, I need like the whole name of the song to have a look. Exceeder perfect. Right, let's have a look. Cheers. Yeah, I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it. Try googling it though. Yeah, you got linked it. I can't find what you're talking about. That's water. No, it's a bug in the current patch of 3.17, Chris. It has visual problems. Don't worry, I'll make it even harder for you to understand what the fuck is going on. There you go. There you go. I can make it even harder for you. Yeah, you're a subscriber, dude. You can post a link. Has more firepower than a Vanguard. This ain't right. What if it unslaves to... Alright, okay, Mortars. Yeah, then I would agree with you, dude. If the Prowler's turret is unslaved from the pilot, I would agree on that. Alright. Let me take this. Now I can go and put this into my system. Oh, this song. I hope the video doesn't remind you of my low flying, because that would be a little weird, you know? fuck is this video, dude? Yeah, definitely. I think this this could be a contender for playing with. Oh my god! You ready to watch an explosion? Or is that landing there? Holy shit! Can that land? Can it actually land in the water? And that... Oh, they're just hovering, I think. This is gonna go boom like. Somebody's trying to do some submarine work with their A2. Does it actually sit in the water? I want to go closer, but I know if they move, it's gonna explode. Ramps are not open, engines are back on. That's kind of cool, like, I like that. I think it's hovering though. I don't think it's got the legs. I know like the 890 has the legs that can do it. Let me fucking unmute that for you, Stewie. So Stewie says, the whole Prowler nerf has always been a shit stick up my ass, and for my friends too. What the fuck is the thought process? I know. Exactly. Stewie. All they had to do was take off the dual size 5s and make it where it was dual size 4s or dual freeze, you know? With Slave, it gives you 4 freeze. That ship is meant to drop people off at high speed, get in, out, shake it all about, and CIG's balancing is just like, oh well, we made it a gunship because obviously we went with a stupid weapon size. Let's just change the weapon size, oh god, and leave it as it was, you know? But they always just nerf everything without any clear thought of what to do. Anyway. Yeah, well, this thing flies at lower speed in here, and then I'll get back into Arrow. But definitely the Hawk is a pretty good one. Not as agile, but definitely it's a pretty good one. So massively locked down the speeds for this kind of route. And the hitboxes on trees are so fucking out of whack right now, it's just crazy. People are like, oh, let's make a race out of this. It's like, no, let's not. Let's please sort out. That is a giant fucking rock, though. Holy crap. It's a monster. Isn't that ready to be... What's that noise? What the fuck? Is that rock making wind noises? Let me go down. I think it is. No joke, I think this rock is making wind noises. Right, so you don't hear it, right? Maybe the trees, yeah. Or it's like the rain or something like that. Sick of shit. Yeah, it could be wind in the trees, who knows. Alright. Does this thing have an ejection seat? Let's find out. Oh my god, I can't actually power it down. Nope. Nope. Oh, we do have ejection. Whee! Oh, I just bounced off the ship. Whee! You'll never find me. Camouflage. Oh my god. This stuff is so bad. You gotta fix this patch with these shadery things. Yeah, no, Hawk is pretty good actually. I don't think it needs any love in atmosphere. I think it's working fine. People just need to stop wanting everything to fly like a Talon and a Gladius and shit. Nowhere near the river? That's a bit shit. Trees. 8% gold though. Yeah, I don't think that was that good. Yeah, exactly, Mordors. I know. Like, again, alright guys, let's nerf the Ares, but okay, you know what? At the same time, 3 months later, let's make it where, guess what guys? We got these ballistic guns coming out, and 2 of them fit on a Talon, and no joke, they can kill everything. There's no need for an Ares anymore, because not even an Ares can tank as much as the Talon right now. Oh, that sounds a perfect idea. Everyone will get their dicks hard at that shit.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval.
Again, like, it's so easy to fix a lot of the problems in this game. All you have to do is up the capacitor of the Talon to allow more shots with the Rhino.
Thank you.
And make it where the Ares can tank a little bit more. Like, ugh, it's just so boring now. Fun doesn't exist. I still have the items in this box. I do. Nice. But yeah, they have to. I know Coulson is working on the Prowler's Gravlev stuff, because after they finished the bikes, he said he was moving on to the Prowler to get that running. So maybe we'll see them actually bounce the Prowler around what it's meant to be: stealthy, fast, agile, and not a fucking gunship. And the easiest way, in my opinion, is put it back to its original flight with all the new changes like capacitor and stuff like that, and just make it where you take the pilot weapons off. As far as I'm concerned, it only needs a gunner. That's it. And if there's no gunner, the pilot gets 2 size 3s with huge capacitor. Also, the co-pilot should not be able to fly the ship as far as I'm concerned. It should only be a gunner seat. And then maybe we can get some use out of it, because the Prowler is amazing fun to fly in atmosphere. It's just so slow for what you need it to be. But now a lot of other ships, like the Mercury Star Runner, is completely useless. That was a great ship for doing Jump Town and some other things, and now, because of the shield nerf, it's just useless. We'll nerf the shields on size 2, and we'll give the Talon and the Carthol a weapon that vaporizes everything in that caliber. Yeah, that sounds a great idea. Oh, but it's 700 meters a second. Don't worry, nobody can hit with 700 meters seconds. Bullshit. Bullshit. When you've got a Talon that can literally sit up the ass on ships now because there's no desync. Or a Karth at all, you know? And I was starting to really like the Mercury Star Runner as well. We were using it a lot in Jumptown. It's a fantastic ship. Not for combat, just in, out, shake it all about kind of style. And now it's just worthless. Vanguards, worthless. Freelancers, dead in 60 seconds. Starring Nicolas Cage. Like a lot of really nice quality of life changes in 3.17, but some very bad balancing choices that I feel. Some that I just don't think they actually needed to do. The moment desync was fixed, you know? Off there. I think that's everything. But yeah. Definitely, interesting. Interesting. The annoying thing is I can't really do much more until a patch. And the only other thing I've got on the list is like Lost Ark kind of stuff, which I don't think you guys want to watch. So you know what? I think what we're going to do is call it for a day there. So the two changes I need to see fixed. One, this graphic glitch thing is just horrible to look at, and two, the graying out items of personal stuff needs to be addressed, because I would like to do more bunker stuff, but it's very annoying when your weapon gets stuck and you can't do anything. Do we have anyone online? Oh my god, there's literally nobody again. From this whole event from Toby has been very, very interesting. Like, people are meant to be able to get entries and stuff like that. You've got all these content creators who signed up for it, and it's just like nobody is online for this event. I know a lot of people have like their streams in the evening and stuff like that, but you know what I mean, like I'm the only content creator online. If I go offline, which I need to go and do stuff, it means that nobody is able to get points into the sweepstake. Fuck me, like. And I would be totally down for streaming on longer, but I'm at the limit of I don't have anything else to do in Star Citizen. Which is really nice. Really nice. Who do we have online, guys? Right. Man, it is quiet. I'm looking through people who have like one viewer just now. See if they've got any cameras. A lot of Spanish, German new streamers as well, which is really cool to see. I get some food as well. I didn't have breakfast today, like an idiot. Scorpion. We'll send you guys to Scorpion, who's on just now. No one else is playing because the patch is late. Yeah, that's very true. So where can I find the secret code? Literally, I've said this throughout the whole of April. When we have the end scene, it's like highlighted above my name on the final scene. That's where you find the secret code. It's not typed in chat. It's not put anywhere else. It's literally appears above this sort of area that I'm wiggling around with. You'll see it very shortly. Very shortly. Most of them are streaming during the evening and night times. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna send you on to Scorpion, who is on. Send all the love over there. Raid 1, Raid 2. Get involved in Toby. !April. You know all the commands, guys. I will be back on tomorrow morning. We'll probably do some chill flight, because I don't think we'll see a patch until Tuesday. But yeah, thank you very much for all your time. Thank you for all the banter, the questions, all that good stuff. Have a great weekend, or the rest of your weekend. And yeah, get involved in the code that is literally here. Or there now. There it is. Wow, look. It's there every day at the end of the show. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Have a pleasant weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy Scorpion's show. Catch you later, guys. Let's go! Thank you very much, Morgoth, Galavier Games, Miss Cell, Space Marine, Dutchum, Stuff Mother, Sketch, Laz, Zeman, Chris, Stewie, Smoked, and everyone else. Test Battle. Have a great weekend.